Futures pointing to a higher open coming up this morning as we kick off a brand new month heading into November. Positive for U.S. equities in October as well. We had the Dow up about 5.8% to end the month. The S&P almost 7% to the upside in the month. And NASDAQ gained 7.3% as we saw tech shares once again climb back towards the top and lead the markets overall higher. Corporate earnings ruling the headlines throughout the past week or so. We'll get a whole bunch more coming up this week. As far as today, kind of quiet on the earnings front, but about half the S&P 500 has now reported for this reporting season. 80% of those companies still beating to the upside. It's another busy week, as I mentioned, for corporate results coming up this week. We'll also get a Fed decision on Wednesday and a statement coming up, obviously, that will be closely monitored with inflation still lingering in the background. The week will be capped off then on Friday with the October jobs report that will also be closely watched. Tesla shares on the move once again this morning, approaching 1,150. Pretty amazing for Tesla. NVAX as well, getting emergency use authorization for their COVID vaccine in Indonesia. And the Chinese EV delivery numbers out as well. So we'll have a look at both NIO and XPEV, more than doubling NIO deliveries last month. Pretty impressive. It's Monday, November 1st, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at how things stand to kick things off. We're off the highs from pre-market a little bit, but still in positive territory here right across the board. 0.4 for the Dow there leading the way. For U.S. equities, Brazil open already, 0.6 to the upside. Crude back in positive territory. Pretty strong to end the week for energy markets last week. And you can see cryptocurrencies slightly lower to start things off, but overall holding near the top end of their range for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. It is Monday. Good morning, guys. Pretty big week to come. As I mentioned, some big events going to take place this week. We get the Fed on Wednesday. We get the jobs report coming up on Friday. So from a macro standpoint, lots to look forward to. We also have the latter half of earnings to get through as well.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. Hope everyone enjoyed their Halloween. Of course, we had some fun on Friday, but looks like a bit of a trick here in Tesla. I mean, as Brendan started talking about Tesla moving, we just dropped. I mean, it just dropped about $12 here through an 11:45 break. It's still up 1.7%, but a little bit of movement happening already. EVs are going to be a bit of the talk, at least, with XPeng strong delivery numbers. And as you said, NIO, once again, a bit of a disappointment for them. So some of the shine coming off of NIO lately, and we'll certainly discuss that. Lucid also just pulled back a little bit. So it just projected that 40 level for like the third or fourth time. And Tesla's starting to accelerate, although, you know, remember $10, $15 here or there. It's an $1,100 stock now. So, you know, it's still actually up like 1.4%. Just remember, the ranges are going to be a lot bigger than we're accustomed to on Tesla if you were trading this thing a few weeks ago, when it was in the 600s.
Yeah, I just, wow, Tesla.
It's really starting.
I just retweeted, sorry about that, my sticky note is upside down, so sorry about that, but thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, so a lot of responses on that. And I just tweeted like a minute ago, Neil and I were just saying, oh my God, here goes Tesla. And I was put it in the chat, and it's like, we should have gone short there. Like 1140 was a huge short, but it's like I don't have the, I don't know. I mean, I was going to say something bad, but I do have the stones to short it. It's just, I wasn't thinking short, man. And like Tesla right now, cracking down. You're still up 1.4%. I mean, this is still good. This may be a good spot to maybe even go long here off that 125 bottom there. I'm not sure what tanked this thing, but welcome. I hope everyone had a fantastic Halloween. I know that we did, my kids did. And yeah, lots of fun this weekend. So we'll be talking about that during the show. As Tesla looking to hold a 125. I don't know. That just made that crazy bottom there. Let's see if it holds it. It may not, though. 125 coming faster than we thought here for Tesla.
Yeah, pretty impressive gap overall to the upside for Tesla this morning. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's also that BTTX moving around here. Coming back to the downside, a little biotech SPAC that de-SPAC'd at the end of last week, so trading under its own symbol for the first time So we'll have a look at a couple of those coming up this morning as well. Before we do, let's get over to say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, team. Happy November to you all. I wish you a wonderful, profitable day. Please make sure to like this video and let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed, guys, get it started. Lots to get through before we get to the open this morning. A little bit of M&A news to kick things off. Coca-Cola, I speak of, spending a lot here, guys. $5.6 billion to buy the rest of this body armor that they don't already own. So it's 85% they're picking up for $5.6 billion. So in the Monster energy drink kind of arena for Coke. That seems like a lot. $5.6 billion for body armor.
I mean, sure, but I mean, at the end of the day, like the Coke already had the deal with them, and they're trying to grow. Albeit, remember, Coke is just a strictly beverage game, and certainly it's been a decent run for them. And I'm only saying decent because every time I pull up a chart of Coke, I'm sort of compelled to zoom out a little bit further so we can still see that Coke has yet to get back to, has yet to get back to its pre-pandemic levels. And it's an out and about story for them, right? Like it's probably a good space for them. They need to make sure that they're the leader in every single facet of the beverage game, because they're not going to have a diversified portfolio like Pepsi does. But until people are, it's about arenas, it's about bars. That's big for them, and I think they're getting some of that back. It's just a very disappointing run for Coke, and they've been trying to break out for quite some time now to even get back to like 59, 60 levels, which has been an absolute trouble. I like Pepsi better. It does seem like a lot of money, but from what I've read, and I don't know a ton about this beverage company, from what I've read, pretty successful.
So here we go. Which one would you choose, Neil? So we have, I put this out yesterday because the kids seem to get a lot of these, and then I threw Milk Duds in there.
Okay, well,
so I chose Milk Duds.
Okay, but I know the pack you got that from. And like those
These
packs,
are just all the kids.
I know, but there's the packs that had those three.
I know, and the other one's Arrow.
Yeah, it's Arrow. Yeah, but
So which one do you choose here?
Okay, but if I get to choose the Milk Duds, I'll choose the Milk Duds.
You do.
But from that pack, I usually prefer the Coffee Crisp.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so for these four Arrow. Okay, so
well, like Milk Duds, we got no Milk Duds. No.
We got some Milk Duds and I ate them quickly. I don't know if there's any more there. No, I just had the one pack. So I don't know. It looks like Kit Kat. Woo, that got smaller there. Kit Kat winning the day right now. So I wasn't able to put a poll up, or else I couldn't put the picture up. So you guys let me know there what you think is popping off, Kit Kat or I don't know. I think Kit Kat or I don't know, Smarties. Apparently, you guys don't have Coffee Crisp there. That's why I put that in there. Apparently, United States not having some Coffee
You guys
Crisp.
don't have Coffee Crisp? Oh, you're missing out. You're really missing out. That's a good. Oh, yeah.
That's why I put it on there.
Canada.
I'm gonna try Tesla here if we can get some, and then we'll see if what it wants to do. But if it's gonna break this 125, then we're gonna be gone out of here. Like I don't know, that Coke is just it's a good dividend payer. If you want to know more about Coke, just look at Berkshire Hathaway, things like that. There's lots of obvious investment opportunities here. I don't know enough about that body armor or anything like that, so we'll just stick to the plan here, trade some of these tech names. But Coke is an interesting play always, I think.
A bit of a downtick there for the overall market as well, 0.3 still for the S&P here, but we did come off, as we mentioned, the highs there a little bit. U.S. Well Service, little former runner, low float runner, moving around this morning, back at 3 as well, or back below 3. Let's touch on Facebook here, guys, or Meta Incorporated, if you would like to call it that. Coming up December 1st, it will change over to the new ticker, MVRS. We'll look at this first. ARK buying 91 million in Meta shares after the rebrand. So we saw that big run up that came after that announcement. ARK picking up a little bit on the way up there.
Hell yeah.
So she's calling it Meta? No, it's.
I mean, I was, as soon as that was, again, it was on the sticky note there. It was an instant, bump for me as well. I bought shares at 311 there in the open market when that came out. Now we're at 325. So, I mean, I really, really like everything that Meta's doing. I think it's going to be, look, when you're investing in some tech stocks, they're going to have to make some swings. Some are going to swing and miss. By the way, how the hell did the Braves win that game, or the Astros win that game? I was watching yesterday, and they got a grand slam in the first inning, the Braves, and they still lost. Up to 320 right there. So look, I think we've made this bottom at 310, 311. We're through earnings season right now. The only thing that's really going to slow Meta down, in my opinion anyways, I mean, obviously it's Facebook, is more from the feds, more possibilities here. I think the whistleblower obviously didn't really have that much of an effect on the stock. I think it was like around 340. They brought it down to about 320, 310, things like that. The earnings weren't fantastic, but I still think that a name change, a brand change here is a great move for Facebook. I think that gives them, a new opportunity to get, just into another space. And we're going to talk about Roblox here. I don't even know if that's still down. But this whole metaverse, if they can lead the way, I think that's what they need to do. They bought Instagram on the dirt cheap and turned that into something. WhatsApp, everyone's using WhatsApp. And I just think that they have a lot in their portfolio. And now we're going to add the Oculus. We're going to add this 3D experience. We're going to add the metaverse. And I think that for me, it's a good move. Is it going to cost them billions, hundreds of billions of dollars to get this going? Yes. And is it going to be on us, the shareholders, to pay for it? Yes. But I do think that in the long run, Facebook's going to be a big win for us. Just like right now, Tesla's $3 in the money now. We'll see where Tesla goes from here. But I like Facebook long. I haven't really looked at too many levels here yet today. I am focused obviously on Tesla, but I like Facebook. And I think if we can break through this 330, then we're going, because that goes back to about a week and a half ago where we were dumping around 330. So I like a 330 break, but I need to do more work on that.
Yeah, if you've been buying off the 200 period, like, you're now back to solid, I guess, because you did have that wick through and you retested that 300, which technically, obviously it's just going to be a psychological level as well. I'm sort of setting up, thinking like, Sean, there was a bit of a sell-off, but I think, as Brendan mentioned, like, the entire market had a bit of a pullback there. I think that's why you see that little red candle. And the reality is, I see these wicks here. I kind of feel like that a top break is in the play for a 328. And it has all kinds of resistance here if it ever gets to the 40 to 42 mark. But there's a substantive gap still in Facebook, breaking through some of these levels. Now, my concern will be that we're actually still continuing to drop a little bit here in the pre. And you definitely, if the air comes out of something like a Tesla, I don't know that I want breakout trades in something like a Facebook. So, I'll be much more interested in looking back at this at the open. The dip buy, I sat down thinking pie in the sky dip buy on Tesla was 1110. And now I'm like, we're one break away from possibly getting there. So not exactly the market I was expecting to sit down into at 842. Still up on the session across the board. And I think Facebook looks fantastic. If you up Bob 4 earnings, you're back at the money. Yeah, great Facebook. Not too great for Roblox over the weekend.
I think
apparently not that bad in the price action for Roblox.
That Facebook, is it not open yet? I don't even. Do you guys not have Smarties? I thought someone said that Smarties were similar to M&M. If you guys don't have Smarties in the States, then I really screwed that up. I thought everyone had Smarties.
Everybody has.
Yeah, here's Facebook here. I just looked at it again. It kind of caught me off guard here today. 322. So just like what Neil said here, you are getting the NASDAQ. Look at this, just bleeding down here, which is typical off of some of these monster earnings. We're kind of just, digesting everything here. So I think, into here is a good, great buy, obviously 322. Some of these dip spots here on Friday. So we can get Facebook down to in here. It's already up that 1%. So, down into around 322, 322.50 or so to put some bids. I don't know. I'm debating just taking this out right now on Tesla. I don't know what the move's all about. We can get up to like 135 or somewhere around there. We'll do that. But right now we're $3 in the money in what appears to be a roller coaster of a morning here for Tesla.
All right, yeah, here's the headline, if you missed it, guys, on Roblox. Bit of an outage, to say the least, for Roblox over the entire weekend, which created some other interesting headlines that Neil will fill you in on here in a second. But also wanted to mention this real quick. We had a huge day for Apple, if you remember, back on Friday. Minor announcement this morning here. They came out with a new safety feature for iPhones that essentially can detect whether or not you were in a car accident, and if you were in a car accident, based on the severity it thinks the accident will call 911 for you, which is kind of cool for Apple. So we're not really doing much here. We are a little bit negative, but huge day on Friday, guys, for some of these. Yeah,
Okay, so Roblox was out for multiple days, and some people were blaming it on a burrito giveaway, which Roblox was quick to say that was not the cause. They've identified it. Just no price. There's actually no price movement on Roblox. So, a lot of times you'd come in and expect to see there'd be some pre-market action. Maybe they'd even be down. Roblox is like, we're just going to trade flat. That's absolutely fine. No big deal to see here. And there was some interesting. The New York Times had a piece. Well, They had a piece where they talked about how there were kids who were actually sort of traumatized by the fact that Roblox was down, which tells you how popular it is. And then they had to resort to things like going outside and playing with their friends. So that's actually something that was in the article, believe it or not. I think clearly those are good things. But Roblox, I'm a little bit surprised that they're not even down like 1.5%, just anything pulling back, and you're just not seeing it. Now they have been a less, I guess, exciting stock up until I think it was like Thursday, where we had a big move into the upside, and then we've been breaking essentially out. So, you know, it's still on the chance to break out this 86 level. I just can't believe there's no volume in here, and it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to be buying something when there's no volume in the pre-market. But you always look to see what is the reaction to a stock when there's bad news. Like what doesn't fall when the news is bad, or what gains when the news is bad. And you know, Roblox here, you get an outage, and then it's essentially trading flat to slightly up. It tends to be a good sign for it. Of course, they're just as big a metaverse play as everyone has been saying for quite some time as Facebook, because you know clearly they've already got it to some semblance as well, as evidenced by the fact that people can't live without it, or kids can't live without it, I should say, because they still need some growth with older people.
Come on, Tesla. Tesla right now $7 in the money, trying to go higher here. So hopefully we can get that. Yeah, you said it exactly. This is the exact reason why Roblox needs to be bought. It needs to be bought in everyone's portfolio like ASAP. Like you go down for the weekend, you know, very, very popular, obviously, game here, and the stock is like, no. I mean, if you don't believe in the metaverse right now, that probably is true. By the way, the burrito thing probably is true. They just don't want to deny it.
Well,
no, it probably is true, man. It probably crashed everything, and then there you go. So we'll wait to see where it comes from, if that's true or not. Bang, there it is right there. We're out of Tesla, $7.50 right there on that win, right up to 135. So there it is right there. Boom, boom. We're already cruising right now, so there's a good win for us on Tesla. That's about as easy as it gets down there against that 11.25. Like for me to take $1.20 worth of risk to put $7.50 in the pocket there, crushing. We'll take that. Okay, so again, I'm going to be buying Roblox through $85. I think that's a no-brainer here. We'll see what it does. I put the order in. You know what? I'm going to cancel that order just because we have that Tesla money. We'll wait. I think this is going to be a great break. Do I want it right off the open? No. But I think that the more people realize how powerful Roblox is, the more it needs to be bought, right? And so I think that you're in the very, very infancy here of what Roblox can do. You want to talk about that metaverse? Like, wait until that kind of stuff actually does start happening, where you can get, throw on your headset. That's why I talked about Oculus with Facebook, right? That's why I'm talking about all those things. I talked about this on Friday, or was it Thursday, where I was talking about having online shopping, basically. You throw on your headset, and I think this is what's happening with that Roblox. And I just read it now. I didn't even know that about the burrito. I'm literally just looking it up on Twitter right now. So, I think that could happen. Like, what happens when Nike opens up a store and you could just roll in there and look at all of their shoes and literally, pick them out, blah, 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 and then the next thing you know, you've ordered them, right? And I think that's going to happen. It's going to happen faster than we think.
It's going to replace marketplace. Well, I mean, it will be the marketplace.
Yeah, this is why it's so important for Facebook to get into that stock and to get into some of these names. Like, they have Facebook Marketplace, and pretty soon you're going to be able to see like 3D. Like, imagine you're shopping, not only just see a picture, but you're going to be able to see a 3D. You're going to be able to walk around a car, this and that. It's going to be awesome. Like, so I'm super excited.
You're going to be able to see yourself in a new piece of, a new
clothing
shirt,
or whatever, or walk into a restaurant and order like as if you're standing there, and then Uber Eats delivers it to you. I mean, again,
hopefully Uber.
Yeah, I was going to say Uber. Yeah, I know Uber and DoorDash. I mean, Uber Eats, I think, is running things around here. Skip the dishes as well. But anyways, yeah. So I think that Uber another meta play. I don't think so. But there is possibilities there, and it just keeps on going to the upside. So I like that. And Tesla in and out of that one. So we already made that little bit of money there. So really happy with that out. We'll post that up again. But there it is there, 126.50. Out 134.50, so a nice $7.40 win right there, guys.
I mean, Uber Eats, guys, I think there's maybe an application for, if you could, see and possibly somewhat smell even the food before. Can you imagine smell AR or smell VR?
No, now we've gone off a little bit here, Brendo.
That's next level.
Yeah, so I think it would be awesome. I think it would be totally awesome.
No,
but what are they gonna like? That then you're gonna have to like put some sort of a misting spray or something. Like, how does that even happen?
You've gone too far, Brennan.
All of a sudden they start like pumping in like smells from McDonald's.
We're laughing, but eventually you know it's gonna happen.
It's not far
somehow.
off. It's
They'll
like,
figure it out.
My kid goes to me, he's like, "Oh, Dad, you know flying cars? Someone's already invented a flying car." And I was like, "That's nice. You can't use the flying car." And then I debate back and forth with him, and it's just the minds these kids have right now. And I think, Brennan, you may be onto something with the smell there, my friend.
I'm telling you, man. You walk by a Starbucks, that's not like just naturally from the coffee. Like that smell is like in the air.
Cinnabon, man.
Yeah, exactly. Chip makers here, guys. A little bit of noteworthy headlines here for chip makers. AMD and Intel both getting a downgrade today, but if I flip over to
What was that?
little one here, ON Semiconductor out with earnings this morning in the pre-market. Big move into recent high territory above 52 on volume as well. 8% here for ON, but as I said, INTC, AMD both kind of flat.
There was another move. Global Foundries, at least last I checked, was up like 9 or 10% pre-market as well. ON, a bit of a smaller player, but in the midst of a breakout themselves. This is one of those, man, it would be really nice if it decided to break a $50 level in market. You've already broken out on this, and it's only 300,000 shares worth of volume. That's why I kind of say you wish you take this level out in the open market. And now that you have, we'll see if it can hold up on a pullback. It was GFS that, when I first sat down this morning, and daily chart's going to be useless because they just debuted last week. That's going to be interesting to me. You know, they had a pretty strong day on Friday, getting a 45 bump and again busting through 50. Kind of unfortunate that we're not able to get this 50 level break. But Global Foundries, I think if you pull back and maybe get to like a 49 to 50 area on a dip buy, that can get interesting. It's just the volume hasn't been, it hasn't been tremendous on GFS at all times. So I think both those names you might be a little bit cautious with, but there is some strength in the semi names. Global Foundries, for me, on a dip to 49.50, I think is where I'd like to be buying this. But yeah, like really, really low pre-market volume, about 180,000 shares so far. So even less than ON, but Global Foundries, it's a good story. Certainly, it has only been a good trade. I really think it was an easy trade off the open, like the first day, but could start coming into play. I mean, a couple of more days like this, and it might even turn into a bit of a short.
So I don't think that's true, Whitney. Facebook Marketplace, my neighbor sold his house, here it is, without hiring an agent in 2 hours yesterday. So I don't know if I'd buy a house off Facebook Marketplace, but it is just part of it all, right? And I think that's the next.
I believe it.
A house? Maybe. I don't know, maybe. You can't get into a house here in Toronto for like based on 900 grand or something like that. So I don't know if that's going to be happening here, but I do think that that's just another opportunity for Facebook, right? Is to integrate everything, everywhere. So thanks, Whitney, for bringing that up. I believe you. I just can't believe it. That's all. Okay, so I'm wondering here, you just talked about Global Foundries. I'm wondering if it's about time. I mean, we've been hating on Intel since like $60 here, since this little break and these tops. Pretty obvious to the downside there. So I'm just wondering, I'm not doing it, but I'm wondering, and we'll maybe have to look at this, switching in from AMD, which is just, oh yeah, that's right, I can't look at this from a daily chart on here. AMD just looking super, super strong and just a killer right now, all the way to the upside. Maybe rotating into some Intel just because of how beat down it is. Forget about the fact that it's half the price. That has nothing to do with it. Obviously, we look at market cap and not share price. But AMD right now cruising to the upside, may be due for a pullback. It's just been such a dramatic move up, similar to that Tesla. I mean, not similar, but you do have a 20% move up here in about 2 weeks for AMD, starting to come back in just a little bit right now. So I'm a little bit nervous about some of these bottoms, 119 and change on AMD as we are down today in an up market. So that does worry me a little bit. Let's just check out its brother here, NVIDIA, just to see where that's doing today. So that's up today. So yeah, so I'm a little bit worried about a rotation out of some of the stronger names and into some of the weaker ones. But we'll go over to, look at that. Look what's on the board there. I honestly, this is going to sound funny, but didn't even realize that, Brandon, that Intel is up there on the board. So on Global Foundry Talk, we'll now see who exactly is upgrading what.
Yeah, slight correction. I said both AMD and Intel downgrade. It was only AMD. Intel actually upgrade, but they were both by Northland Security, so it was in the same note. That's where I screwed that up. But Intel, yeah. Upgrade, there's Starbucks. No coincidence there that I was looking at it. Spotify on the list as well. Morgan Stanley liking Spotify today. Costco to the upside. Take your pick on the downside, guys. We've been talking about a few of those recently.
Costco up there. I mean, that's a
Tilray?
great stock.
How dare someone downgrade Tilray? Like, what are you trying to downgrade that into the freaking depths of hell or something like that? These cannabis stocks can't get out of their own way. I mean, I don't know. Now you're downgrading them?
Every stock on that board,
Right.
though, even on the downgrades, with the exception of TripAdvisor, was actually up on the session. So
I'd be so super rich if I never even looked at some of those cannabis.
Oh,
things.
cannabis.
Unbelievable.
But Spotify, well, I guess we're going to get to Spotify. But Spotify with a monster move last week after their earnings, I guess it was one of those sort of nondescript, quick little $40, $50 moves off at 250. I mean, what an unbelievable, it's the quietest move I can even think of, because you're getting close to this 300 level that could be another potential breakout. I mean, you got your head and shoulder sort of thing that already happened, and then you're trying to break back above this level. So, got to watch out for this ARTL, which just popped up here. I am in two shorts. One of them, load, ART. Come on, there we go. ARTL just popped up a little bit, getting some shares about a 104, 105. It gets into these teens where I wanted to stop at 115. And then this ABVC, which there was like a shelf offering VC had on a 2 million float, and I am short it, and it is in the money, but that is a stock that I expect to halt multiple times today, because a 1.8 million float is kind of tiny. So both these on the move, but ARTL just made a bit of a pop on me.
I want to talk about Ford right now. Ford, again, another hot dog winner here for Ford. And we've been talking about that for a hell of a long time. And now today we're up to 1750, recent highs right now happening on Ford. We bought this thing at 13, bought it. We've been buying this. I mean, look, a lot of the calls I've been making are slow and steady. Palantir's to the upside pretty nicely. Ford's really nicely to the upside right now as well. We don't have to, the longer term accounts are just right now blowing up, like Softy up to 332. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Google's at highs, everything. I mean, most of these higher quality names, I'm going to throw Tesla in there as well. Like, all of these names are all at huge highs right now. Look at Softy, man. I mean, this is, again, number 2 holding, number 1 Google, number 2 Softy, 3 is now going to be Meta, Facebook as we go. And then we do have Nucor. Ford is all the way up there as well in their portfolio when we just talked about that. And look at Nucor today, 113, man. We just bought this thing at 95. That's rocking and rolling. Nike rocking and rolling to 170 today. We got out of our IBM, which was good, but we got out of IBM and at 130 break and switched over to this name, which we need to find out more about PayPal right here. So PayPal today is going to be up, I believe, 0.61. So PayPal up more aggressive than the market here. What a beatdown this stock has had. We're buying more at these levels. We've been talking about this, and we're right down here. PayPal gets beat up off their interest on Pinterest. If they just kept their mouths shut, this wouldn't be a problem. But again, PayPal's a little nervousness because people wondering if a firm and things like that, the buy now, pay later, will sort of eat into some of what PayPal's doing. They do have to give a percentage to some of these buy now, pay later firms, obviously, when the deal's done. So it does eat into some of their top line. I believe PayPal bought, I can't, not PayBright. I forget who it was. But I think it's some outfit there in Europe or was it India for the buy now, pay later. But Paybe, I think it was maybe. But anyways, I'm not familiar with the exact name of the company, but they're going to get into that game as well. But watch out for 225 coming through on PayPal. This is a name that needs to be bought as well. This was the pick of 2020. Not doing so great here recently, as we are well off the 50-period moving average. Let me just check before I throw it back to you, Brendan. Let me check Square quickly here. Square 260, so still up there. Come on, daily chart load. Let's just see what Square looks like as opposed to, so Square, that's what I was saying. Square's still up there, still above its 50-period moving average. So PayPal problems, definitely. Like, Square should be down here 200 if it was like PayPal. It's almost exactly the same chart. So let's see what happens now. It may rotate out of some PayPal and back into Square.
It was Paydi, Sean. They do buy now, pay later over in Japan. So that was back in September. That was announced. I don't know if you saw that note, but I'm kind of surprised by this. Steve Martin watching this morning. No kidding. Great actor. Canadian Smarties or U.S. Smarties are the equivalent of Canadian rockets, which I'm very surprised by.
Those rocket candies are crap.
No, that can't be right.
The rocket Smarties are milk chocolate.
Yeah,
I was very
It's
surprised.
M&M's. The only thing that I can think of is M&M's. And I actually think M&M's are better.
M&M's are better than Smarties, yeah.
Okay, my bad. I didn't realize Smarties did not exist in the United States.
Those compounded powder sugar rocket type things? Or
Yeah,
I hate
things
those
you
are
put in
not
like
Smarties.
pop cans or something.
Yeah, I don't like
Then they just blast off. I hate rockets.
No, yeah, no.
You know what? I'll get my wife to send a picture of said rockets, and then we can we can discuss.
We didn't get any of those.
You're not a fan of the rockets, there, Brendan?
No, definitely not.
Nah, me neither.
Let's bring in Arun, guys. Get a quick check of the overall market before we get into the watch list this morning. It is if you didn't notice, brand new month, November, to kick things off today. We get the Fed on Wednesday. We get jobs report coming up on Friday. Arun, what do we need to know today?
Well, first off, you need to know that the best chocolate bar out there is the Coffee Crisp. For anyone who's missing out, that's not in Canada. You've got to try a Coffee Crisp for sure. Okay, towards the markets. Okay, what I'm looking at, I mean, we're above 4,600 finally. So I would imagine there's a decent amount of push and support around this round number. So I keep an eye on that round number. Bias is to the upside, but we are getting a decent amount of sell side activity above 4610. So I I waited out just to see how this market plays out. The first little bit, obviously, you're going to have opening volume come in, but I really want to see what that ISM number looks like too, because that's going to be an important figure going into the day, especially at the beginning of the month. That number tends to kind of move markets in a decent way. So keep an eye on that as well. The levels I'm looking at, 45.90 soft level. So if we get underneath it, I want to see how it trades before I decide to either get out of the way or go with the break to the downside. But that's the only level that I can think of that's nearby that we can work with. The other levels that I've got are the 37, 36, maybe close to 40, 35, 45, 40. So it's a soft level around the 36, 37 area. I want to see how it trades down there first. And you can see the space, right? There's a decent amount of space in between the two lines. So I would just wait to see how this 4,600 reacts. If there's support there, then you can look for a long with the 45.90 area to work with on the stop side. And if you obviously get that break to the upside, you got to see how this market trades about 46.20. But given what we're looking at, it's a new month. Some new figures coming out. ISM specifically is what I want to see before this market gets to, make a move on this market. Because at this point, risk profile on any trade is high. So I have to wait to see how all figures come out before I decide to take a shot. Because this market, I can see this market easily going up, coming back down, kind of whipping around a little bit because all this territory is new. We've got to declare some new levels after the market's been above this 4,600. Never happened on Friday, right? It did happen towards the end of the day, but not in a significant way. So I want to see how this market trades above this 4,600 mark before we start marking off new levels and start taking trades and start making moves that are actually going to be leading in to the holiday session. People are starting to look towards holiday-related purchases. So I imagine that's going to start influencing some stocks, which will in turn influence the indexes. So keep an eye on that going into the day.
Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Yeah, lots to be aware of and to come this week. Let's get into what is moving around in the pre-market this morning. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab the watch list. We send it out every single morning. Absolutely free to you. Ms. V will help you out with that. There you go. We have the QR code ready to go as well. If you have your phone handy, you can just grab that by scanning. Again, free watch list every single morning, guys, at 8:30. Before we come on. Let's talk Tesla, guys. The amazing run continued past tense because we're coming back off a little bit here as we saw. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Tesla. I mean, 1 trillion market cap gets surpassed last week. We get $1,000 surpassed last week. I mean, the thing's up, was it 40% or so in a week?
Yeah, it's been pretty miraculous. And to be honest, I mean, a lot of people are going to come in and you look at the daily chart and you get a run like that and you start thinking about, okay, when's the turn day going to be? And you get what amounts to, I suppose, like a failed 11. It's not really a failed break because pre-market activity here at 7 a.m. I mean, it's not a ton of volume, but either way, you did break 1150, failed to extend, you consolidated lower, then you fell down. So there is kind of a failed 1150 sort of round number. Even break. Given the bounce back that it's just put in here, it does set you up for like that potential like pop and roll style play, which is probably a little more dangerous on Tesla than it would be on just about anything else. And you've had like a lot of this move up, like fueled by options plays as well. So you're always fearful of gamma squeezes. And shorting Tesla is not an easy thing to do. All that being said, I mean, eventually at some point you're going to get a bit of a down day, and you're already looking like it's made one here. But I mean, that's a good bounce off 1125. I'm watching Lucid here just to give you guys an idea. When Lucid rolled back through 40, Tesla was doing this, and they were kind of going at the same point. And now you have Lucid continuing to break down. It just went through 39, and Tesla is still in the midst of bouncing up. So you still have this relative strength that comes back into Tesla here. And I know Lucid's up more. It's up 5%, but I'm just talking about the current price action. So I came in thinking that I was going to have a chance at a potential rollover play at 1150. It kind of already happened here. It's difficult to want to do something the second time through. I can tell you that because at ARTL, if I shorted the first time off 105, it was fine. The second time, no good. But we'll see what happens at the open. I'm still open to the concept. I just feel like Lucid might be the safer play all around for trading today. I like 1110 for a bounce. I had that when I sat down. It didn't quite get there, but we still have a chance, and maybe we'll get a bounce play off of Tesla at 1110.
Okay, so all right, so we're already just to give you guys an idea, if you're just joining for the first time, we're already made that $8 on Tesla, so we went long 126 at 134. So we're already it's $7.40. So we already made that move. Obviously, it's ticking up higher now. What can you do? We'll take that profit every time in the pre-market, and we'll just look forward. I want to talk about the sticky note because on here you just talked about NIO. We'll talk about that next, but. I mean, Tesla right here, up 13 of the last 15 days. It's up 40%. Let's try to go long if 160 breaks, right? So I was already thinking long, and then all of a sudden this started to happen. So it was a no-brainer to get down into here, right? So as soon as we got to 1125, that was a no-brainer. I love trading 25s, 50s, 75s. We've already talked about that. Not only quarters, but dollars. Here it comes right back in. And I don't know if these two, they're probably not related as far as like the movements because NIO does give deliveries, but I do also favor the long NIO, and we will talk about that. I mean, do you want to, we're just talking about Tesla right now, so maybe we'll get to NIO when we get there. So let's wait to see. Tesla just rejects 1140, which is the volume weighted average price, which I think is pretty legit. We've done some good volume here this morning, so we can trust that. 1150 maybe as the new breaking spot for me. So we probably won't do anything long until then. We, like Neil said, if this continues to fall, then yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of defense, obviously near 1100 here. Not defense, but back and forth. That tends to be some kind of support here, whether or not we call it 1090 or 1100. At that point, you're kind of picking at straws. Obviously, as day trader, every dollar counts. As a long-term investor, I think if you can get something around 1100 and hold it a little bit, you have that 1075 bottom. Like we were just at 1075 on Friday, right? And then all of a sudden, it bumps up and closes at 1118 that day. So you get $50 on Friday, and then today you open up $50 again, or $35 again, right? And so there is going to be lots of movement here on Tesla. I'm out of it. I put the $8 in my pocket, and I think we will not try it again at 1125 too many times down there. Let's let the market open up, and then we'll see if we can break higher. So I'm a fan of Tesla. Obviously, I think you buy it on any dips. One of the best companies to own if you're just starting a portfolio. Why not buy some fractional shares of Tesla? I like that. Apple, Microsoft, all the giant tech companies. Tesla just continues to lead the way, but again, probably a little bit overdone on the daily chart. Needless to say, as if we just zoom in here, look at this move, man. I talked about this with Kevin O'Leary. This was $800 on October 20th. Okay, $800 on October 20th. It's now $11.50, and it's 1 day into November. So, 11, 12 days later, otherwise known as like 8 trading days later, this stock is up 30, 40%. We just talked about that, Brendan. Up 13 of the last 15 days. A great note there. Get our watch list. Watch us on TraderTV.live. Some good notes on Tesla.
Yeah, it's amazing. That chart is just unbelievable. Let's go to vaccine land. There's a couple of headlines in vaccine land today. Moderna down here in the pre-market. FDA has delayed their decision on the adolescent shot from Moderna, citing some more possible risks. So mRNA down, Novavax, on the other hand, higher. Indonesia came out and gave them emergency use authorization for everyone, it would appear, in Indonesia. So NVAX with a big move in the pre-market this morning as well, but it has also now come back a bit.
Yeah, look, for Moderna, it's been bearish, and that story is just gonna help it be along those lines, I think, for today. Look at the 15-minute. You have a lower consolidation off of this 350 which it tried to break through, then you got the resistance through. Now we're actually breaking the bottom end of that range from last week. 350 top and like a 338 bottom. That kind of puts in a bit of a target area. It's more like a 337 to 340. That gives you a bit of a target area for a short. And then you start thinking about, okay, well, what are these levels of support that you're going to potentially have? 16s was a big one for, I mean, I want to say like days and weeks. You can kind of see here when I zoom a little further back. And then the top end of this range, and I know it well because we were able to short around tops here, 327, 325 to 327 gives you like a target area. So it's a wide range at the bottom. But if Moderna is going to continue to be a short this week and hold below some of these levels at 340, I think it's a short into that range, and then you play towards those bottoms. Now, as far as Novavax goes, a little bit more tricky, if only because it's had some very, very sharp retracements that you've seen when it's been making its rebound from last week. And this one, another gap, and then you saw what happened last week when it sort of had that strong move and then pull back harshly. We get the gap up today and we're already giving a bunch back. Now it found a bottom at previous resistance at 140. And if that's going to be the exact same pattern here today, you're looking maybe a little bit closer to 150 because everyone's looking at the same thing, 153 to 155 where it's dipped. So if history is repeating itself, Novavax 153 to 155 should be some support. Although it seems almost too obvious there. I like the Moderna short a little bit better than playing into Novavax for the long. It's like, how many times can you sell off when you get positive news and a gap up before eventually it doesn't catch a bit of a bounce? So I prefer the Moderna short. But I mean, Novavax, the pattern speaks for itself. And if you like that pattern, I mean, you got to be thinking about a 53 to 55 long.
Thanks a lot for all the kind words on the chat here, and thanks again for 3-month Sasa PJ, I don't know. Thank you for your 3 months. Thank you so much for that as well. It's a love fest today. Yes, it is. Thank you. Well, I mean, as it should be. We're all pretty happy, man. The market comes in. We've got hopefully another bull market on our hand if we can hold it out. I don't know if it's going to stay positive today. Yeah, Shiba Inu making moves again. Actually bought more on the weekend. Okay, Teladoc was a good play, man. We're up to 150 now. We bought that thing at 139, so that's a winner. This is the name that, I mean, I'm just getting into this space now. That's a good one, so we'll spend the money for that. And then we've been talking about buying J&J, this whole time as a very, very safe play. One name that also I like right now, Pfizer. It just needs to come back in a little bit. The problem with Pfizer is I think they have some pipeline expirations coming up. We're going to hear more from Pfizer this week. I believe they report. Yeah, what was it, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? It's near the end of the week.
Thursday.
So Pfizer's going to come out report. And the thing is, there's lots of money to be made in these boosters, but they got to get approvals, which it looks like they've got them there on the FDA. I saw that come through on Thursday or Friday for 5 to 11, and then we're going to get the same kind of reaction here from our similar to FDA here in Canada as well. That will come through and approve that. So there's lots of money in boosters. It's just that they got to get them into people's arms, and hopefully that will take away some of the expiring patents and whatnot that Pfizer has. So we'll wait to see hears more about that. But a nice move off of 41, 200 period holding down here at 39. We talked about buying this a little bit ahead of that 200 period, but I'm going to wait for Pfizer. Just want to bring it up because it is coming out on Friday. I'm not a buyer of this, but it's a nice move back up right to the 50 period. So watch out for Pfizer. I wouldn't buy anything here. I'd rather have their report come out, and I'd rather buy a 47 on good news than take a shot here at 44.50. So let's wait on Pfizer. I do like the Moderna short. We've been talking about that. But Moderna, unlike some of these they're new tech, right? So you gotta watch out for that, as who knows what's coming out next for them. I know they're working on some cancer not really a vaccine, but similar things to what they've done with COVID, trying to solve it with the mRNA technology. So we'll wait. I think Moderna does have some upside surprises, but it is not looking great on the chart.
I was just looking at some of the airlines here, guys. American down in the pre-market. Looks like Southwest a little bit negative as well. It was American, actually, that canceled a whole bunch of flights again this weekend because of staffing shortages, it would appear. So some of the airlines under a bit of pressure here as we head towards 9:30. It is the first of the month. That means we get Chinese EV maker delivery numbers. First week of every month, they typically come out with those today. NIO and XPeng. XPeng more than doubling, almost tripling, in fact, NIO numbers for the month of October. Not very impressive here for NIO, guys.
No, and one of the things we were saying, I think maybe it was last month, last month's deliveries, sort of pointing out, sort of relatively speaking, we always talk about NIO, and they're just not really selling as much as you might expect, especially in China. I mean, in terms of individual models, like we were saying, they don't have one in the top 15. XPeng does. XPeng also repeats with 10,000 deliveries. It's not as much as they got last month, but hey, it's upward momentum in the stock. They had positive news out about, hey, their flying car and their automated driving, which had some positive updates last week as well. And the stock has been breaking out. It's just a stronger looking chart above both 50 and the 200 and trying to get through this 50 area. Now, it's been pretty choppy. It looks like it's trying to follow through. I keep saying we. I'm not an XPeng shareholder or anything like that. But just have a quick look-see at what happened the last time it tried to take out this 49 level. So it was a clean break, 48.50, took you up $1, and then got schmacked. $5 down, clean through the top. So this is now a strong rebound, trying to get through those same levels. It's a 49.50 break is up here. I kind of feel like today you have to have in the back of your mind that you could get another dip. I don't think it's going to 45. It does. I'm looking 47 on a dip. Now, the same I was thinking Tesla 1110, but the break I think can be on here for XPeng on the relative strength tip. And 49 sets up as a pretty solid one. It's actually 49 on a dime, to the penny is the current pre-market high. So that is setting up. Just remember what happened at 49.50, the harsh reversal. I'd always want to take some profit out in front of those 50s and some out in front of that, 49.50s and then in front of 50s as well, and then looking for a 47 dip. But XPeng's been doing spectacularly, at least in terms of results. I think NIO might have to be bought on a dip, but at least XPeng does set up for a bit of a breakout, which, looking at the other EV names today, it's not really setting up that way. And this is your other end of the coin. If somehow we're approaching 49 on a breakout and Tesla is approaching 11, you obviously don't want to break if the leader of the pack is approaching its low of the day.
Yeah, I was looking at Tesla right now, 1140. Damn it. Well, whatever. I can't be happy with $8 and then be mad when I give up 3 or 4 bless you on the other side of that trade. So right here, NIO, look, 38.50 is going to be something interesting to me. This is a 20-minute chart. Why do we do 20-minute charts? Again, we've been asked this question. I like it just because it gives me, and again, every one of these volume spikes is a day. You can see the breaks. So it gives you 6, 7, 8 days depending on where you zoom it out to. And I'm just looking at this level right here, 38.50. That's the bottom that we made back on the 23rd. It looks like there before the weekend, so that was a good one. And then we bumped up and started making new highs of 42 and change. And now we've sort of rolled back in, and now we get a negative 3% on. I mean, it's a horrible delivery number. Let's just like you said there, XPEV 10 grand deliveries or so, and NIO 3,600, not good. But what NIO did say was they had record orders. So their order book is record highs right now. So for me, that's good. And I think the stock, what we do here when you trade is you don't trade off current numbers. You trade on what you believe the future is coming through, right? Yeah, I'm not listed in any trades. I'm not in any trades right now, George. I've already taken that Tesla out for that $7, $8 winner. That's why you're going to see that on there. So I think that if they're going to they didn't guide at all, but if they're going to state that their orders are a little bit higher now, record highs for orders, and I know that they're working on their SUV models. We talked about that as well. And their earnings report comes a week tomorrow. So the 9th, the earnings is coming out. So I don't know. Let's wait to see. It's very, very hard for me after watching Baba, after watching Billy, after watching JD, after watching some of these names. It's hard to trust some of these Chinese companies. Obviously, I feel like we all feel that way. So I'm a little bit nervous about earnings. But as far as price action is concerned, I like a 38.50 bid. And I don't have a problem doing that, especially if we're going to use 37.80 or so as a bottom. There's way more room to run to the upside than to the downside based on what I think today, especially if the market is going to be up. I'm just looking for my imbalance locator here. Ford, we've already talked about that. Like, giddy the F up on Ford, man. We love Ford. It's not on the sticky note, but it's been such an amazing stock for us that you're up to 17.50 now. Like, great. We did sell some at 17. We moved into UiPath. We did talk about that. But again, Ford nicely done to the upside. Palantir as well. That's cooking to the upside as well. 26.30 now. AMC's on the sticky note. I mean, we only have 10 minutes left. There's lots to get to, so maybe we'll just move on. But we are going to be watching AMC and Palantir. If you did need more notes on those, I'll be talking about them. But it's also on the sticky note. So go to my Twitter at TraderTV, Sean.
To get through here, guys, I didn't see who it was, but somebody was talking about ABVC, the float here. I can show you what I see anyways. Take that for what it's worth. That number right there, it's tough to see, but 1.81 on the free float for ABVC. So again, that's what we have here. So let's continue along here. We'll talk about Spotify, guys. What a pretty impressive post earnings run this thing has had. 1, 2, 3, now 4 days to the upside, back towards 300, which is right here in the pre-market, up 2%. Morgan Stanley calling this one its top pick for Spotify after that run.
Yes, sir. And don't tell Trader Pat about top picks, because then he'll bring out one of the more recent one of the top picks from back in the day. I think it was Goldman's top pick was Enron, like way back when.
Yeah.
Which here's the thing, it will always happen. Like that will always be the case. Like when you need something like that blows up that no one sees coming. Otherwise, if everyone saw Enron coming, it wouldn't have been Enron. It'll always be somebody that has made a good call on. That's just how the world is. But Spotify, like I said, it's just an unbelievable run that it had last week when almost nobody was paying attention to this thing because Tesla was going absolutely bat-ish crazy, and you're breaking 260 and head to 300. Now 301 sets up as resistance on Spotify, so we're in this cluster that it needs to probably consolidate and possibly break through. 301 is your level. I know 300 is a round number, but you look, the resistance right here has been at 301, so it needs to break out through those prices, and I think it has a decent chance of doing that this week. I just wouldn't be shocked to see a consolidation before it does it. And that ABVC, whether or not, regardless if the free float is 11 or 1.8, 1.8 is a heck of a lot smaller, and it will be a big deal. One thing of concern for this thing, up 225%, is it absolutely got crushed at 7 o'clock when retail came in, and then had a lower consolidation, which I short just about every single time. I got some out in front of 7 even. I'm still in some from an 888 short, and look at how long it's barcoding here, up 200%, doing volume. If this thing breaks, it's probably halting off the open. Right, like there's so much room from here, this break, like 880 to like 920. From here just to, like even this 11 area, even back to 13, like you'll chew through 10% at the open, no problem. So I'm out of this thing if it breaks 880, just walk away with a decent short, and then maybe hunt for a post-halt style trade. Just be very careful trading ABVC today, because whether it's 11 million share float or 1.8 like we see, it's still incredibly small and going to be prone to some very, very wild swings and potential halts.
Yep. Okay, so Spotify, again, I'm still a shareholder on this on its direct listing. So that was on, it's good now. Whatever. The direct listing was 150 or something. So Spotify nicely done to the upside, about a double since it came to market here. But this is a big move to the upside right now. I don't, like when Morgan Stanley and all that, after this kind of a big move comes out and calls it, its top pick, it's because they're long down here, where everybody already knows that. So give me a break, Morgan, honestly. And if the analyst is watching this, hey, what's up? You know why you did that, and we'll just wait to see here, as they're just trying to get it to break this 300, and then at that point, you watch, it'll go to 320, 330, then all of a sudden they'll come out with an underweight or something like that. So let's just watch out for Spotify. I don't really know the catalyst too much. I've canceled my Spotify. I'm all into Apple right now, even though my Pixel gets delivered tomorrow. So we're back on that Apple Music, but this is the levels that I'm talking about. This to me is why they get that. I just got my wife a 13 Pro, so I spent double on her phone than I do on mine. It's absolutely unbelievable, which is deserving. Up to $300 right there, and I think that this is the only reason why they call this out. So you could watch out for this 300, in my opinion. It could run today because, again, people want to buy some of these great picks and things like that, but watch out for 300 here on Spotify. It's pretty much staring you right in the face. I think podcasts are being taken over, or are taking over right now some of the traditional media. When people work out, when they take, Neil can talk to this, it's like so can Pratt, traveling, being on the train, getting that relaxing time. Nothing wrong with putting on a podcast. And they've given big deals to Rogan, and Kardashians, I believe, are there. I think Michelle Obama. Their roster just keeps on growing, and I think that's probably the reason. But are they actually making money? I don't even know what to say. But it's a big move up for Spotify. Congratulations. I still am a shareholder, so I just think that this 300 level just looks pretty good for a short to me.
Realize what time it is. Let's jump down to AMC here, guys, because pretty impressive numbers for ticket sales coming out of AMC for October, comparable to February of 2020. So right when the pandemic was getting going. So a nice little bump here on the pre-market for AMC this morning.
I think it's sort of like what's happened with AMC is like you've already probably baked in some of these positive numbers with the reopen and watch it. The ABVC, it looks like it's going to potentially break that 880 and break out. But AMC has put in a good support last week at 34.5 to 35 even. You're setting up for like this, it's like a 36.75-ish break, and then there's some room to like a 38. Now, the volume which I anticipated coming in this morning came in the other direction, so you get that positive headline. It's been slowly sinking in. That's why I listed the support first, because I think you might be testing that this week. Not a lot of momentum here at the open, going into the open with 5 minutes to go, and I'm not really seeing it, too much of it pick up. But AMC, if you get those 34.50 to 35 evens, that's your support level. I don't know if the breakout's going to be coming. It would have to bounce like $1 to break out from here. So I think the breakout's pretty much out the window. Whoa, where's Tesla? Lucid just made a huge pop.
Don't even tell me where Tesla is. 1144.
Got to be, because look at what Lucid just did. Lucid just made a huge pop. It was falling off just like everything else. Now popping right into that high. Now remember, Lucid had a failed 40 break last week, got to 41.5, so that's a big level. I can quickly show it to you there, Lucid. This is like 41.5 up here. So you got a bit of a double top potentially forming at a 41.50. Keep in mind the big short float on Lucid. Very dangerous to short this, but if it goes back to that high and gives a reject at 930, I'll be looking to make that turn on Lucid.
Tesla 1145. We may have let go. Someone saying on the chat here, Sean has no positions. Sean had the best position, and I let it go. Why did I let this go? This is going to haunt me all day, so you know how I am here. I'll be talking about this all morning probably. But we had 1125 there, bottom tick on Tesla. We got out 1135. It was only $7.50, so that's the only position that we've had on there, as now Tesla making everybody who sold it or who got out like me look a little silly. We will do that. MindMed is moving. Yep, I'm also a holder of MindMed, MNMD here. There's so much to go over, guys. 260. I was only a couple percentage points this morning. Yeah, so 3%. So that's nothing crazy. I do like that Lucid. It's on the sticky note to short this thing. So let's do that, man. Lucid up to 41.60. We may not short it. It's just you got to watch out for this Friday high there. Maybe short around 41ish. We're not going to make that same mistake. I don't know. I don't think my trades are going to be on here, as I can't even move my chart back. So, okay, so good job on that one. But we'll wait on Lucid there. 41.60 high coming through in, man. I still cannot believe that we put some of this in our pockets. But left a lot of said money on the table with that Tesla. But that's okay. We're going to go one for one. We're going to watch out for this Lucid high. Also, before I throw over to Brendan here, because we got to get going in only 3 minutes, Fisker, just another name to watch out today. You're up that 3%, starting to go as well. Just tick 16.75. So watch out for Fisker. Brendan at the big screen. Let's go, bud.
All right, U.S. Wealth Services, guys, bottom end of the list this morning. We put a video out on the weekend on range trading, or anytime market's stuck in a range. This is about as stuck in a range as you're going to see, although we're trading in the very, very center of it right now. 320 to 340 is the top end on the daily chart, and then 240 at the bottom end. So we are kind of rolling over already for USWS. This is 240 from Friday. We'll watch 320. So if you're involved in it now, expect 320, 330. Likewise on the long side, 240 to the bottom, guys.
All right.
Yeah, and just because, I will go over DWAC very briefly because they are down 2.5%, and there is some rumor that there might have been some illegal shenanigans is in discussions about the deal before the SPAC launch. When you're at a SPAC, you're not supposed to have an acquisition target. You're supposed to be a blank slate when you go IPO, and then there was a report basically saying that may or may not be the case. May or may not be the case. It's getting right back to this key 65 level. I would just look a little bit beneath there and say if this thing takes out around this 60, you're probably heading down like 5 to 10% move. It is very, very sleepy. Otherwise, I might be already active in this one in the pre-market. But it looks like Lucid. Between Lucid, Tesla, XPeng, ABVC, which we're looking at as well, and Moderna, there's going to be plenty to watch going into the open here. And I just could have. Only reason I want to check back on the XPeng is because when you have these all move at the same time.
I'm in Neo right now. So.
Like XPeng basically just sat here. It was already up on the session, but basically just sat here. So no run on XPeng at that open. It makes me a little bit. I still like that breakout at 49. I'll take it, but I'm kind of thinking the dip buy could also come in. Didn't move a muscle or even an inch when you saw the rest of those EV makers move. So it looks like the more heavily shorted ones moved first.
Yeah, so we're going to be just like right now on NIO. So we are long right now at 37.99. I saw that move up just like what Neil was saying. We only have 30 seconds to go. So we did buy some NIOs. We're going to look at Tesla. Or we will look at Tesla. We'll look at AMC through the top. We briefly talked about that, but it's coming to the downside. I did like this break here of 36.50 on good admission numbers this past week for them. But yeah, it doesn't look like AMC is getting too much love. NIO could be a problem, but we'll try to do that one. And then Palantir looking for a breakout as well through 26.50. That's coming in a little bit. Watch out for these futures. We could turn red. So I'm not going to get anything too huge here right off the open. With only 10 seconds left now, though, Ms. V is coming down. So there's Ms. V in the blue. We like that. Neutral color. What's up, Blue Jays and Maple Leafs, too? All right, Ms. V rocking and rolling today. So let's see what happens now as we have our NIO position. We will have to average into this one as, whoops, there it is. Yes, sir. Wow, okay, I thought we got out of that one, but we'll fire off some hot dogs here real quick as NIO starting to go to the upside, man. 80s, 84s, 85s. Look at this win. What kind of a day are we having, Neil? I hope you got some fills there as well. NIO going ham.
Yeah, it looks like we're headed southbound on the ABVC, so no break just yet. It's about $1 in the money here, but Lucid, yeah, so much for shorting it off of that high. Lucid just dropped $1 without even testing the high of the day. Looks like it's found some resistance here up at that 40.5. Forget about 41.5 at least for now. That ABVC seems like it's going to be okay, but watching out for Tesla, it's getting right back up to that 1150 area. So right back up to that 1150, putting in a bit of a rejection there. That was the only price I was actually interested in shorting. So if it gets any closer, I'm going to take my one and only shot if it rejects this level here, which it might not even do.
Okay, guys, we're done. We'll just see you guys on tomorrow. But no, we'll continue to trade. But wow, talk about the EV names today, guys. Look at this trade. NIO, bang, 38, out 38.40. Long again, 38.50. Out as we continue to go to the upside. And if you're not following the sticky note, upside down or not, today. I fixed it, by the way. The sticky note has all these bangers for you, so hopefully you're able to find out those and see if it's a winner trade for you. As we break through 39 right now, as that one keeps on rocking and rolling, we can check back on Tesla as well. It just bounced off that 1150, Neil. That's going to be a little bit of a problem there, maybe, for Tesla, as we can keep on watching that rock and roll. But right now, that's what we've got on, and then we're looking at Palantir as well, as that's having a little bit of a problem to get up through that 1050, 2650 level there on Palantir, 26.25 right now.
So this is interesting because we did end up with that XPeng long through 49. I'm going to take some up very, very quickly in front of 49.50, that other resistance, but Tesla off of 11.50, just took some 11.49.89 is my price. I get some out in this cluster 11.45. Now it's headed back to this 35 level. Given the fact that we just broke out on XPeng, I'm going to take this winner and sort of run away from it here because I'm looking over at Lucid falling like an absolute rock and saying to myself, I don't know if Tesla has the same juice. XPeng broke out. You're getting mixed results here. And that ABVC, so I'm glad we had that stop, but getting into that great Tesla trade just now is going to cost me any chance at getting that halt up on ABVC. I said it might halt off the open. I was in short position. I got out at 880, basically for flat, but did miss this breakout. And this could easily open up $2 or $3 higher. We'll have a chance to look at it in 5 minutes or so. Brendo.
Yeah, early halt. Volatility on ABVC. I saw BTTX as well, the other one rejecting a halt and then bouncing off of, looked like 13 even there. So big volume, huge volume came in at 13 even, guys, on BTTX as well.
And yeah, just to update that XPeng, I remember saying 49, 49.50, we have to take some out. It's now bouncing off of 48.75 and trying to get back into the upside. If it rejects 49.50 again, I might just take this one out and then run away from this trade to get back over to ABVC, because when that opens up, I think it could be just a monster runner. ARTL was another one this morning. I took a hit on this. Here we go. It then made a high, broke the high of the day. It's consolidated right here at 115. Worth noting, this was a bounce off $1 even, so big level at 1 even that it already bounced from. If it tries to take out the high and fails, I'll try shorting that. And no trade in Moderna, because Moderna just went straight down. There was no pop to be shorted in the target range I liked, so I'll go ahead and cancel that offer. Moderna just decided to fall without me.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes there. We'll wait for NIO to go. Yeah, Moderna, damn it. We talked about waiting for Pfizer as well to see if that one wants to give us any love there. So Pfizer, another name on watch right now. What's up, Brendo?
Fubo TV, guys, just popping up here. Looks like they updated their expected numbers for this quarter. So not earnings yet, but expected numbers a little bit higher there for Fubo, guys.
I will take it because that one's been a good one. Also, I don't think we talked about Plug, but Plug has been, I don't know, reading the register time getting pretty close on Plug at 40. But Fubo TV in the midst of another break here, but resistance, up at 32 and then again at 35. So, not a horrible place to ring that. Reggie. Oh,
Scared the shit out of me there.
A little bit. The coffee tastes a little bit, well, my first one tasted a little bit weird. I'm just going to throw that out there.
A little bit weird, uh-oh.
Soapy was the word I will use.
Soapy?
So I decided to pull the plug on the Tesla trade at 12 bucks because XPEV was breaking out, thinking, okay, well, I don't want to be, I'll just take the momentum. XPeng is bouncing back to the downside as Tesla falls a little bit further, so might have made the wrong call there. And just to come back over to Lucid, yeah, Lucid, a harsh rejection, no bounce whatsoever in Lucid. It just continues to flush. So I don't know where I don't want to chase this too far because resistance is up at 40 and a half, and you're now at $38. But Lucid's falling like a rock, and I got nothing. We should be open up an ABVC in just about 1 minute or so, and that thing could literally open $3, higher. Who knows? I haven't checked the imbalance on it just yet, though.
This is a Rob guy. I must have done something fun. I think that Valeria little scare there gave some jump scares. Okay. Ooh, Tesla. Yeah. So, okay. You just talked about Tesla, so we won't. Yeah. You know what? Maybe is there something wrong with this coffee?
No, my first one was just a little weird.
This one seems a little bit better there. Yeah. So okay, this one's a little bit better. I still got the good made from home. Shout out to Mr. Cheese there. No one playing Among Us anymore, but that's Mr. Cheese there on Among Us. Oh, and shout out to Jeff Mendel there from the OTC markets. There it is. Okay, so let's go. Let's just continue to trade. NIO here. So this is Palantir chart, but I don't know why it's Palantir chart because we were looking at Palantir. But we're still 40 cents in the money on this. This was a good play for us. We take it. We don't like to take NIO too much early, but with 1 minute to go or a little bit less than that, we took it. About 2 minutes to go on some of the spike ups there for the EV space. So when that starts to move, man, we are happy about that. So right now we'll go to the upside here for NIO and continue to hold it, man. I don't have any, need to get out of this one. Obviously, in hindsight, which we can't use that because, that what are you going to do?
Tends to be 2020.
It tends to be 2020, but obviously we would have not got anything out there. But we knew that we were going to take the 38.50 break, so that's why we took the 40s out there, right? So that's part of why that wound up happening for us. But a nice move to the upside goes NIO here today. We're just going to hold on to that one. So that brings me over to Palantir. I know Neil just talking about Lucid. Palantir, oh my God, I was going to say if it ever gets down to 26, we want to buy that. It goes right into 26 right here. So 26 was a nice little bottom there. We did make a move down on these futures, and now you're right back to the upside. But you can see the NASDAQ fading right now. So I don't know. Let's wait to see if we can get a reload back down here, and then we'll take it. But for right now, market's heading to the downside. I don't like this at all. AMD's 118. SoFi's starting to move as well.
So this ABVC opens up exactly, flat, right at $10. To me, that's a bit of a bearish sign. I thought it was going to open up just absolutely screaming. It then retakes 9 even, which I short pretty much exactly that price on a bit of, I'm going to go with a relatively tight stop because I kind of think if it retakes 950, it's likely to break out. But if I can start getting some shares out where we did in the pre-market in front of 8 and then in front of 7 even, that'll be fine. A little bit shocking. It was a small buy imbalance, and I did anticipate that this was going to open higher based off that. So I'm glad I didn't get the actual trade on the halt. It wouldn't have been that bad, but at the end of the day, you want to have winning trades. The short looks pretty good here. I'll try to, like I said, scalp probably 70 to 80 cents, get some out in front of 8 even, and then work down towards what was a wipeout bottom at 7. So it flushed here through 7.30. It got off $7 and then bounced. So I want to make sure I'm taking profit there. XPeng looks like I said, it might have been the wrong call to get out of Tesla and hold on to XPeng. That's at least what it seems like here, as it's having all kinds of trouble breaking back to the upside, whereas Tesla's now back to 11.28. So probably should have hung on to that short.
Yeah. Oh, man. Neo, so you picked XPeng. You were going long XPeng, right? Yeah. So that's failing, but the one that we have for some reason
it's not failing. It's just not going.
For some reason, Neo is going. I don't know. And so like I'm saying here, pick your poison in some of these names, as Neo right now, 60-cent winner, but realistically $1 and change. So we have that name on board. We'll wait to see where it goes from here, but I like this moving forward. Like I said, I'm not going to dump that stock at all. Okay, so that's that, as we can look for some more trades. trades. Facebook up to 330 right now. There was another name. Oh, SoFi. Yeah, SoFi's breaking out as well. We did put another order in for AMC. Let's talk about that quickly because we may get into that. Breaking through 36. So AMC does make that bottom at 35.40. Then it tries to run up to 36, hits it, then comes right back in. So failing. One more try at 36. We'll take it. What's up, Brendan?
Ocugen, guys. OCGN extending this move from Friday. We went all the way up to 12 on Friday. So just broke day highs there on a decent volume spike. Don't see any headlines, though, for OCGN.
You know what? I could be wrong. I thought I saw something of a story on it, but I guess it was nothing on Ocugen. But I'd swear that I read something on the way in. Tesla, you're killing me. You're killing me, Tesla. It's now down to 11.25. So maybe in and out too fast. I mean, I've done this like multiple times where I'm not adjusting to how big the ranges are on Tesla. And you got to understand, I mean, if it gets to 11.10, that's where I wanted to buy that dip. And I think we're getting an opportunity pretty close. That ABVC went like 60 cents in the money, is now back to flat. So it might not be done in terms of its run. And I got to stop on XPeng now at 48.70 because that just seems like it doesn't want to go. It gave you a little bit of a scalp win, but since then, not doing a heck of a lot. Yeah,
I mean, we're still on that. I mean, AMC's coming back down. I'm a little bit more paranoid now because Neil's talking about that move on XPeng. Boys, Neil's just cruising to the top side right now. A break of 38.90. Let's get out of that. Like right in here, we break through 38.90, something like that where we got out. We're going to get out of this name just in case that does happen. I mean, who knows where we're going to go from here? But if it can go to the downside here, Neo still could break. So let's wait for 38.90. We'll put some of that on our watch. But right now we're 65 cents in the money on that name. We did have one trade on Ethereum here as it went up. Broke through 42.40. We got some out, and then we took a hit on the way back in for Ethereum. So that's starting to move around a little bit here. Nucor, Apple, right to 149. Let's check out Microsoft here quickly as we go. We can see if there's any sort of plays on Softy. A nice little move down into 330 again. Okay, so we were chilling out at all-time highs at 332 here. Now you get a little bit of a dump in. If the market's going to rebound, I think Softy right around now against this 328.50 probably can get bought as well. So some good opportunities coming through on some of these names today. Microsoft, and again, the NASDAQ is giving some back here, so we may want to look for some shorts. Fisker that we brought to you earlier, also another name there, ripping today, up 6-7%. We're well in the money, man, and shout out to Rob, not this Rob, but Randy, sorry, as Randy and I have been talking about Fisker for a while, and Ford, so both of these names starting to go now, up 7% on Fisker today, so that's going to be a good one. I'm getting ready to cash out, man. We were long Fisker, and we talked about this one, $12, $13, right? If you look at the daily chart, how good that name was down here off some of these bottoms. Obviously, you can go all the way to 9. We didn't take that. We bought some off of these dips right here. So I think $13, $14 now Fisker is our average. Our average price is around 16 or 17 because we were caught up here. So now Fisker making moves to 20. We'll see if it can go. And speaking of going, Plug Power now up 7% through 40, through 41. Just continuing to churn. I mean, like ring the register time starting to get really, really close because it's right back to this gap fill. If you go all the way back into March, heading right into like a 42 level, XPeng is now trying to. It's been holding up pretty well. Oops, that's still a daily chart. It's been holding up pretty well, and now used to get the break back in towards that high of the day. So 49.55 has a chance to get taken. If it gets to 50, I think you can definitely ring the register. Or at least I'll be trying to. That ABVC on the short. Whoops, there you go. ABVC on the short actually stopped me out. I could have taken profit. I decided to look the gift horse in the mouth when it only went about 40 cents in the money, and now it's broken back up. If this takes out the high at this point at $10, it's definitely a breakout long. Brendo?
Even Nikola, guys, getting some EV love this morning. You mentioned Plug there. Blink charging also on the move. Look at Nikola. 7% here. Just took out $12.50, guys, for Nikola.
Do we know why, Brendan? Is this just like EV talk for Biden again? Or, I mean, I know it's the whole space. Like, we're long Neo here, and we've been crushing. I mean, my two bets, I mean, I only have a few trades here today. Long Neo has been an absolutely, like, unplug your world right now for Neo. What a good call that was. And again, if you look at it here on the upside down sticky note, you won't be able to read it, but on the good one, hopefully you will. We talked about Neo right here, man. Down on deliveries, but still strong demand. Long, 38.50s, man. Buy all the dips, guys, there on Neo. So we have done that, and we have cashed in right now. Now we're $1 in the money on Neo. We talked, I mean, I can't do it any better. Long, 38.50 right here on the sticky note. So there it is right there. We talked about, and then the pre-market, welcome to $1 on that trade if you do have that one. And then here goes AMC as well. I mean, I don't know. We talked about taking it at 38. 36. We'll take a quarter on this if we can, up into the 20s. It just did bounce off there again. These are pre-market highs, so excuse me. If it can go a little bit more, we'll take it up to 24s. There it is. Yes, sir. So feeling like Superman already now, as we're going to go 1, 2, 4, 3 for 3 here today, and quite nicely, man. $8 winner, so a $7.50 win on Tesla already taken. There's 25 cents on AMC, just taken out. Now we'll hold the rest. That's out half. A little too conservative probably. And then $1 right now as we go with the big bags today on the show, man. We're going to go 3 for 3, but you're used to that, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, and that ABVC 11 break, that's as clean as it's going to get. It goes right from 10 into 11. I'm going to take some out at 50s. I'm going to take some out in those 80s. And then if it breaks this 11 even, I'm going to hold through that break. See if we can't get a halt into the upside again. It's already put in one halt, tried the short, a reversal into the long. So a couple of dollar moves on this stock. And look, it's $4 away from pre-market highs. Remember, the float is just, it's tiny. Whether or not it's 1.8 or whatever numbers you see online, it's still a tiny float and could be running even crazier. I know it's up 330%, so the notion of it going higher seems nuts. But we're in crazy markets, and it looks like it wants to go. So I'm going to take this one and hang on to this. If it goes into the halt state, I am looking to hold through the halt because I've already taken some profit out. Not necessarily go more long, though.
Look at this, man. I mean, price target on NEO, some people asking me, like, I don't really have one, man. I mean, this is just straight up to the upside. We talked about loving this name today, and there it is for a huge, huge win for me. Like, look at this. Like, this is a monster win. And we're long now, $1 and change now in the money on NIO. And I mean, I don't know, 40? I mean, you know, if we look back here, where were we on Friday? I told you that move down was BS. Part of my English, but 39.50, 39.60. Maybe this is a good spot. We're coming into some resistance already from Friday, but why, man? I mean, if the market's going to keep doing this, making bottoms and then bouncing, and we have, you know, one of the strongest names right now. It's not one of the strongest names in the market. I mean, you see other stocks up 6, 7, 8%, but off this move here today, this is like straight upside, man. You had a little bit of bouncing around here at 39 where we did get out, but now it's straight to the upside. I guess I could cancel all these worried orders here about getting out, as it doesn't look like we're going to have any problems with that one. And then AMC right now as well. Like, hopefully we hit this one too. Long at 36. Let's see if it takes out the top. This is once again on the sticky note. We'll have a look at that. Look at SoFi, man. I mean, we just missed that. When I called it up before we went to Brendan there, SoFi was just breaking 21. It goes as high as 21.50 though. And again, trade off those 50 levels, man. Those are the key ones. So up to 21.50. We'll see where SoFi goes. Back down in here. Maybe a long pickup at 21, as that's where VWAP is. I don't know, man. We're just getting really, really spicy here with NIO. I'm going to hold this one and just see where it goes from here. Take a hit on this, take a hit, but we're really, really happy with today's performance, man. 3 for 3, all monstrous. 4 for 4 if you include that Ethereum play.
Yeah, while that was going on, ABVC hard rejects 12 even. It goes right below that halt price. So the last of our shares that we had in, we get out and then reverse into the short. So this is now the third time we're going to go short. The long has been, look, the long was a good breakout trade from 11 even. But with this, it kind of feels like with no news here and it's going to be a bit of a pump, I do want to make sure that I have an opportunity to short this and get the pullback when it does. It was $2.50 on Friday when it closed. So the opportunity for it to break through 7 and then just absolutely crater, I think is going to be there. So I have a $9 short that we reversed into. That is a capitulation candle if I've ever seen one. I mean, XPeng's basically not really doing much of anything, but this ARTL, and apologies for not covering it, it's not necessarily as exciting. It made a failed break. It then tried to get through that pre-market high again. It's now consolidated at 115, which I shorted. That's sort of starting to work in the money for me here, so I'm going to hang on to that. But ABVC, if this is the capitulation, I'm going to take some out in front of 8, I'm going to take some out in front of 7, and I'm going to hold. Same plan as before when I shorted this same area. Is that Brennan?
It is.
What a buy Starbucks was, guys, on Friday, down at 105. Saw a couple of positive analyst notes on this one as well, but right back through that gap that it created on Friday for Starbucks.
Look, if you make enough calls, eventually you're going to be right. But I can't find my list here. But whatever, it's on. I talked about Starbucks at that 104 right on Friday. I got to label these sticky notes with dates, and then we can talk about that. But yeah, that Starbucks, what a fantastic buy. You are 100% right. We talked about that on Friday, taking that 104 level there. And if you look at a daily chart there, it doesn't get too much better than that level there on Starbucks if it ever does load. You can go back here and just bottom pick some of these right into this area here, 104. We talked about it cracking through the 200 period, and then right back into here. I mean, there is better levels. I mean, there's basically 100 sticking out, but 102, 103, that 104 was a gift on Starbucks. I hope you bought some there, Ms. V, as Starbucks making moves now back to the upside off of an upgrade, right? That's what you're waiting for. Catch those upgrades and then let it fly. Very, very similar to my boy right now, Meta, as this just keeps on going, man. I can't be more happy with this buy. We bought this at 311 on Friday, or was it Thursday? I think it was Friday there, or maybe it was Thursday. No, it must have been Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, because we don't have 311 on Friday. And now look at this name, man, straight to the upside. We love this name. Oh, you got to look at Roblox too when we get back from Brennan.
This guy's just popping up here through 58-day highs on volume as well. New addition, obviously last week, but GFS on the move.
I totally forgot. We talked about global foundries, and it's like,
Yeah, and then
okay.
it was like, that's enough.
And now it's like, look, at this point, give me a break. It's at $60. I said at some point it was going to be a short. Well, when you miss a long breakout, you got to start thinking about that short. I got to check to make sure it's not ridiculous. It was 50 cents a share to short this on day 2, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I'll double check to make sure we have those locates. Tesla back to 1140. If it makes another run at 1150, I'm not shorting 1150 the second time through. We'll walk away with our profits on our one short there. But Global Foundries, wow, $60 even. Huge. That's a lot pretty fast for 21% on the session here. I'm going to check for some locates.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we are just loving life right now, man. The long-term portfolio kicking butt. We're kicking butt for you guys here, and I hope you're just enjoying the show. And thank you so much, guys. We are now crossed over. We did this on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday last week. 250,000 subscribers right now for us. So, yeah, that's pretty happy, man, for that one. We'll fire off a chicken for that as we hit that level. It took us a bit, about a year, 2 years about or so. Wow, Lucid now dropping back down. You know what, man? I mean, so just to give you guys an update, Neo just continues to be mind-blowing, honestly, at this level, all the way up to $40. We were remember when we were down 3%, and I was like, huh? And now you're up 1%. I mean, this is straight to the high side here. Long here, long here. Neo just continues its move. Where do we get out now? I'm wondering about that 40 level, as we are coming very, very damn close to that. So let's watch out. I'm going to still hold this higher. Moderna down 6.3% right now off of a delay of the vaccine, right?
Oh,
so there it is there. So Moderna just continues to crank down. There's always that 320 level that we liked. What's up, Brendo?
This EQOS, big mover back on Friday. If you remember, there was a polka dot, if I remember correctly, headline related to this EQOS, but just popped back up through that pre-market high for this one on volume.
Oh, yeah. So that one's going to be off to the races once again. BKKT making some moves here. I just tried to get GFS there at 59.70, 59.60, at 59.50. I'm not going to chase it any further than that. But BKKT, I don't know if that was Brennan once again, but BKKT just halted upside. Opened back up, rejected 44. Looks like this one is on the move. Big time mover last week. Careful shorting it. This is definitely a dangerous runner. Was that Miss V?
Yep.
Well, Neil, I wanted to bring you up BKKT that was just halted and now up more than 2%, but you just covered that, so maybe Sean can give his opinion on BKKT now.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting out about, I haven't even looked at BKKT and I hate that stock. So, yeah, I hit the long right now on NIO, but yeah, BKKT was like the only negative name that we had pretty much in all of October. So I'm staying away from that one, but we are super, super happy with this Neo trade. I'll leave that to, you were just talking about BKKT, weren't you there?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So why don't you just ask? I didn't even hear the question.
No, look, like I said, be very, very careful here. This stock absolutely dropped like a rock all day long if you go back to last week when it got to $50. And then you had the monstrous run that it put on Friday. I think it's going to have some trouble to sustain through 47, but it's nowhere close to that price. So you do have to watch out. You take a breakout like this at 42, and if you don't ring the register at some point, the stock could be at like 25 to 30 in an absolute heartbeat, especially if it rejects this 42.50 break, which is trying to put on. And when you get the halt up and then the rejection here, I'd be very, very cautious with this one. I'm not saying the long can't work, but when you halt up and then fail, you can see, like, I'm playing the reversal on ABVC. I'm willing to hold it. I think there's some people that are going to do the same thing in BKKT. At Global Foundries, I mean, give me a break. Like I was just trying to short 60s. It's now at 57.50, and maybe I should have chased it. Like sometimes I don't chase these moves, and then it's just a huge pullback. It just went too far. I like Global Foundries, but it should not have been at $60. That's just way too far, far too fast, and you can see how sharply these things pull back when this happens.
I just want to give just got a congratulations note here. If you are watching, maybe you are not. Doug A, congratulations on, I guess, a new baby boy. Considering using my name. Okay. That's a good, the good old Italian name, Sean. So yeah, congratulations, Doug, if you're watching, man. Best of luck and wishes to you and to yours, man. Grow, as I said, grow that family, my man. Get that going. Nothing makes me more happy, of course, than my kids. So straight up here, 37.38, up to $40 again goes NIO. So it's a hot dog. We're not in the hot dog costume, man, but we're firing them off today as we're 4 for 4 here. Look at DraftKings starting to go upside. I mean, we're at $40 now, so I don't even know what to say right here about all this stuff. So DraftKings, about NIO anyways, I'm just going to hold it. Was not expecting 40 or we'd be retired by now because we would have hammered that stock. But like any stock, if we had a crystal ball, we don't have to worry. But DraftKings here, I guess now this may be time to buy it. I believe DraftKings has a report this week. We haven't got one yet, but it should be coming out. So DraftKings right now barcoding on the daily chart, but it is bouncing off some of these bottoms. We've tested 46 like 3 or 4 times here, and it's held out. We know the Entain deal's gone bye-bye. So I think we like DraftKings now coming to the upside. But Brendan's always got tons of news. What's up, bud?
November 5th for DraftKings. To clarify, Snap, big mover last week, off earnings as well, popping back to the upside. It did actually trade, I checked, trade down to this level from Friday and then ripped right back up through 53. So Snap getting some volume.
Yeah, so just a quick look at Spotify again here, guys. That 301 resistance that we talked about, not 300, 301, always when in doubt, zoom out, 301 right here, just in change. It manages to break 300, go right to 301.5, right around that resistance, now putting in a lower high. This is setting you up for a couple things. I'm going to roll into a short, which I said, I'll take a shot at this one. Whoops, you know what, forget it, I'm just gonna hit the bid. Sometimes I hate chasing these things. So I'm just going to hit the bid there. I think it can be a reversal through that high break, right? But I mean, 1-to-1, with $1 worth of risk, and then back below 300, it gives you a couple of bucks down to 299 or so. I'm going to take the shot at the short. It is a bit of a reversal play, I think, at 301.50 because of that potential break in the daily chart. And then don't write this thing off. Just consider how strong the move was last week. It's not to say that it couldn't continue it. It still has some room to its all-time highs as well. So worth keeping that in mind. I am going to the short side, as I just put on right here. And then that ABVC, which after it fails that breakout, get the halt up, it fails that break, that capitulation candle, it just turns into a short for me at this point. It's got to break back above that halt price at 10 even for it not to be. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but certainly that's a play I'm going to make. And then Tesla, woo! I have my bids down here at 11.11 in front of 11.10, which is what I like for dip buy. It goes to 11.17. I'll cancel that now because if it comes down in, you want to make sure you can play it by ear. But wow, Tesla comes all the way back into 11.40, not quite to that 11.50 top, but a wild roller coaster ride. Still up 2% though somehow. Was that Brennan?
ANI Pharmaceuticals, another big mover here so far. Just caught a bid. Looks like they might have been earnings actually here in the pre-market for ANIP. 43%, huge volume there through $50 even, guys, for ANIP.
So we are going to get, okay, so we'll look at all that. Just a quick update here as NIO's still at $1.50 in the money off of just a great call there in the AM. We'll wait to see where it goes from here, but I just want to give, did I close my minute chart? Yes, I did for some reason. So, okay, what I want to do was 39.60. We break down below here, 39.60 we're going to get out as we just let this thing go all the way to 40.05. We'll give it back 50 cents, 39.60. I do got to open up another minute chart, so this should open up automatically when I click on my chart. So let's see if it does do that. There it is. So it opens on Lucid, of course, because that makes sense. But here we go. NIO right now. So here it is right here. It's that dip down. Just got me a little nervous there. If it does that one more time and we break through 60, then we're going to get out. Looks like it's reversing back to the upside. So NIO, that's my out right here. 39.60 off of a 38 long. That's $1.60. Then the real trade pounding through 38.50, taking some out instantly for 40 cents, then 50 cents. And then now we'll take this $1.60 or so right now on NIO if that goes. check out my PaySafe, though, finally. Yes, I think you might have missed this one, guys. I hope so. Anyways, November 10th, going to be earnings for PaySafe. We heard the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. So we'll hopefully, one of those days it comes out. And I don't really care what day it comes out, as long as it comes out the right way. So here we go. So PaySafe, a nice little move off some of these bottoms. We've talked about $7 a couple times, not just to talk about our own book, but PaySafe is flying today. So is SoFi. So some of these names starting to get back up. And then, you know, because I do talk about longer term positions here as well, I think PaySafe, if it could take this out, I know there's a big gambling angle to PaySafe as well, as they do have connections in those spaces with the buy now, pay later. They don't have any connections with that. If you can do that for gambling, but I guess you can. It's called the mafia. You know, you take on one of those.
Yep, you definitely can.
You can bet now and pay later. You might not want to do that if you're gambling, but anyways, there's SoFi. And the point is that SoFi right now, which I also own, is back to day's high at 21.50. Wow, maybe we have to punch this long.
Yeah, and here comes that rollover on ABVC. At least it's attempting to back through 9. Just got some out in front of 8.50. Going to get some out in front of 8, then 7.50, then 7. That's going to be the plan. I don't know why this thing, again, I don't necessarily know exactly why this thing is going as far as it went here on essentially no news. But remember, the float is tiny. I'm surprised that it hasn't halted to the downside yet, especially given it already had one capitulation candle. You now had a second one, so I'm going to start ringing the register because you have to. If you don't, last time I checked, you don't make money once you cover a position. You guys can fact check me on that one if you want. But then this ARTL, which I lost on, this is my negative stock of the day. It goes back to that pre-market high level after a failed break at 130. I'm able to get some short here, 126. Starting to cover in front of VWAP, then I'll cover in front of the teens. This is the one that hasn't been going as well. And then Spotify. So look, I know everyone likes round numbers, right? But you have to think about, that 300. Always zoom out. Before you take a break on any stock, just always zoom out just to make sure you're not taking a break right into resistance, which is exactly what happened on the daily chart. This is about 301.30 or something like that. So it goes to 301.50 on that break, and that's great. You can take $1 on a clean break, better break if you had it here at 97s. But the lower high, once it rejects the level we want it to reject, we get the lower high, get some out in front of VWAP at 299. Now I want to get some out in front of this 297, and I don't actually have to let this thing make. It doesn't have to be a monster move, but you can get a clean $2, $3 on that with a good risk to reward going counter trend if you have a setup and a price. And I only had one price I liked on Spotify. We're fortunate enough to be able to get it. And it's 10 o'clock, which means Brendan is at the big screen for Happening Now.
Killer.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. A couple of numbers you might have heard Arun talking about coming through right now. We'll double check on that as we go here. But we are pretty flat overall for the S&P, down slightly at this point. The Dow, 0.25% to the upside. The NASDAQ also pretty flat at this point ahead of these numbers that are coming out. 1.2 for the Russell to the upside. Again today, as soon as the market opened, the Russell just ripping to the upside. ISM manufacturing 60.8 versus 60.3, so a little bit higher than expected there for that ISM number. NVAX, one we were talking about in the pre-market here, just got flushed again, it would look like, with the overall market. Came back up to 158 on the way back down. Still nicely positive, though. Indonesia giving them emergency use. Yeah, what happened to XPEV? Big move down here, 49 all the way to 47, guys. Huge selling coming into XPEV.
Yeah, that's why we do go with NEO. But oh yeah, by the way, we are out of NEO. And just as an update here, you can check out here. We did average into AMC one more time. We took 90s there and it ripped up almost right away to 10s or so, and we didn't take it out. So now we're going to sit there and try to take it out one more time. I'm not going to let this one go too much past 75. You guys know we talk about trading the quarters there. So that's going to be hopefully a good trade for us on that one. I know that you have a great one on that ABCV trade there, so that's going to be a good one as well.
Call it the alphabet.
Yeah, the alphabet trade, sure. I like that actually. Rocket Mortgage being brought to my attention as well as this one started to take off. We saw the deal. I don't know. Do I have the ticks? Yeah, I do. So here we go. So this was on Friday. We took this trade at about 1 o'clock there when news came out with them and CRM. It was Salesforce, of course, and Rocket Mortgage, some sort of a partnership here, or I think that Rocket was going to use Salesforce there. So again, I can't remember the exact details. That was a nice move to the upside. And then right now today, looks like they're getting that little follow through bump up to 1740. If you look at a 20-minute chart though here for Rocket Mortgage, or Rocket Companies, keep calling Rocket Mortgage, is at this top rate here, 1710. That's sort of rate where we're hovering around. We do break that and go to that 1740. So I think I'd like to see one more break of 1720, and then we'll try to go a little bit longer on Rocket Mortgage. And there it is. There's 20 cents. So there's our nice little out on AMC here as we can look at this. Where is there it is right here. So AMC, the reload. So in there and out, reloaded down there and out. So now we'll wait to see if we can get any love back to the upside right now for AMC off of our long 35.90. So in, out, in, out. We'll just keep watching that one. But we haven't made too many trades, man, today. We had a big one early with Tesla. We've talked about that. I know Neil had a Tesla trade as well. And then we had obviously our big monster trade with NIO. Bang that to the upside. We have a great couple trades here on AMC, and then we had that one through Ethereum. But other than that, not much happening as Starbucks still at 110 right now. Fisker still making moves. So we're going to find some more. Let's look at Lucid as well when we get back. I know, Neil. Yeah, there's BKKT. I don't know if you have that short, but that was 43 down to 38.
Yeah, I mean, I missed on BKKT. Obviously, ABVC started to come in there. Fubo TV breaking out again, so Fubo continues to be a strong runner. Look, I love them because of the whole, somehow gambling is coming up a lot here, but Fubo TV with the integration to watching in sports and gambling at the same time, I mean, integrated in their platform, that makes sense to me. I mean, why not? We all know what we're like when we watch games, and I say we because, yeah, I'm a little bit of an addict myself. Look, 34, I said could be a resistance. We're not quite there yet, but this breakout's still continuing. ARTL, I just want to get back to this because it made another test, not the daily chart, you guys don't care there. It made another test at that high, so again, another scalp trading one's up to 131, gets them out at 125. It's starting to get aggressive to this upside and setting up for a break. So I want to make sure I'm taking profit all the way down through. I just got another leg out on ABVC, but every now and then, the whole time in that Xpeng breakout, I'm just sort of saying to myself, it can't go, it can't go, it can't go. And then we do have a tight stop on it, relatively speaking, if you look at the daily chart. But it breaks, and I do not reverse in this trade. And I don't know why I didn't reverse. When you look at where it rejected, remember we talked about 49 break. Watch out for this 49.50. You've got to take some profit. When you have a double top like this, where you get a wick break on the same even break, and then you get back through what this previous resistance is at 48. I wasn't watching the stock when it got to 48. I was sort of long out of it. But when you break a level like that on a failed break, usually that's pretty good for a short trade. Again, I really only analyzed the long position, and once I was out of it, I wasn't paying attention. But that doesn't mean you don't jump back to it and then see the reversal that you could have had when it sets up like that. Just got another leg out on ABVC, which I'm calling the alphabet stock. This one's going to be nuts, but I kind of feel like at some point this could be like a rest of the day short, but it still has not broken. Forget about 7 even where we got out of the short early. It hasn't even broken past this like 750 to 8 area. So the capitulation has yet to come on this stock, despite the fact that it's up still 240%, has slowed down a lot. A lot of times this would give it up and halt to the downside. So in the back of my mind, it still could take out that 10 level where there's no chance I want to hold the short through.
Yeah, I'm just looking here to see what's popping up. Okay, so, all right, got it. All right, so we're just looking at AMC right now. It's right back to the level that we've cashed out before. I'm going to try to hold. I am going to hold this one. Don't need to try to do it, just do it. We're going to hold this one to the upside and see if we do take out that 36.40, which is the high of the day there on AMC, up that 2% as the NASDAQ red. So it's stronger than the rest of the market here. So we'll hold on to that one. I see Fubo TV starting to go as well to the upside. We said we'd take a look at Lucid, so let's do that.
Here we go.
Lucid's starting to tank now. Are you short this name?
No. It's just
ABC.
ARTL finally capitulating
ARTL,
here. So,
okay.
Yeah, look, this is going to happen on small caps. You get a double top, triple top. What eventually happens is people that are in the long position start to give up. They're like, it's not going. Why is it not going? And then if a 1 or 2 dump and it breaks a key level like VWAP here, I always have orders out so I can get picked up along the way. Just in case it bounces off support here at 110, I want to make sure I'm covering half my position in that particular case. So now that we've done that, we can do a little bit of this. ARTL, going to get that back and hopefully go green on it with just a few more ticks down and send you guys to Brendan, who's got another name for us.
Desktop Metal. I was trying to see when this thing de-SPAC. This was one of the original ones, former SPAC here. Yeah, it was way back, I guess the beginning of last year. But nice pop here, DM. 7% back to the upside. They make electronic components, or the parts for electronic component makers, including semiconductor parts. So they tripled manufacturing capacity for one of those parts used in semiconductors. So up on that news, guys. DEM.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to update just because I'm out of the trade, and I guess I didn't go over it. I'm going to be out of Spotify. Maybe I could have held on to it, but when I take this trade, it's all structure. It's a strong stock. It's going to be able to go short on a counter trend play, lower high to VWAP, and then to the bottom end of the range. So I get in, I get out. Essentially, you risk $1 to scalp $1. I mean, just a little bit more than $1, and then you're going to be able to get like a couple of bucks out of it here, like $2.50. So I like the risk reward. I'm going to take it within the range. If it continues, fair enough. I have higher risk short trades that are going to be on. And then we just mentioned to each other here, as Brendan was going, bit of a miss for, well, not a miss if you have John Deere shares, but a bit of a miss. John Deere, they came to a resolution with the union and then break out. So up 5%, but on a clean breakout at 350 here, and now up to like $360. So every now and then you're going to be trading a lot of names here, and it's been a good morning. But essentially, this one probably could have been low-hanging fruit. A very, very good stock, which was on the midst of a breakout and has been holding up rather nicely despite all of those labor concerns they had. And that 350, you're then breaking on the same day, the 200 period and the 50 period at the same time on this break. So John Deere is certainly off to the races. And guess what? Still room to its double top at $400. So giddy up, John Deere.
Yep, John Deere, good name there, and like Neil just went over that. So, okay, we're right now not much happening right here. We are looking at AMC as it is coming back to the downside. We did say we'd look here quickly though at Lucid, so that's AMC. We still have that. I think that there is a possibility there for this name. So let's just hold out hope for that. Here's Lucid fading back in, but the reason why it's somewhat interesting is you're coming into this 36.50 area. Sure, we did dump down to 35.50, but if you believe in this play here and you think that maybe this is a little bit overdone to the downside here, now almost red on the day. I think it might have turned red there when we ticked down to 37, but that's a little bit of a level of concern right there. If there's something that you needed with Lucid right there, 36.50. We can go to a 20-minute chart here. That's a one-day daily. It's not going to do anything for us. 20-minute chart right here on Lucid. Yeah, so this levels right here. So $36 level of concern right here for Lucid. So that's something to look at right there as we get closer. We're at 37 right now. So we're still a little ways away from this level, but I like a 36 here on Lucid on a 1-minute chart. That's kind of what I was talking about. If you can get a dip down to 36.80, probably worth risking 80 cents, for the potential that this thing gets back going to where there was some kind of consolidation here at 38.40. So that's an interesting play there to look at. That's going to be Lucid. If you did have any ideas of doing something, that would be a 36 spot right there. Rocket still up to the high side. Baba's an interesting name as well at 170. I don't know.
Like every time I think Baba's going to sustain a breakout, it just sort of pulls back in. The only positive thing I'll say is somehow still in the money on that. It just doesn't make any sense. It just can't seem to run. I'll give a congratulations. There you go. I mean, well, okay, as I look, we just sort of pulled back off 62,000 on spot prices in Bitcoin. Oh, but Shiba's holding up pretty nicely, so you guys will be happy about that. But Coinbase 5% through 330. Well, it just went through 335. I'm trying not to jinx it. This is a break from last week, and it's now through last week's high of 333. So a nice little breakout for Coinbase. I'll pull up the daily chart just so you can see. I do expect like 345 or so, maybe to find some resistance, but the break continues on Coinbase, despite the fact that you're flat. I guess everywhere I'm looking is essentially flat on the day, but Coinbase making a strong move. I love that combination. Brendo.
I just saw MindMed pop up there again, guys, on some volume. Okay, they're going to present at a health summit there for MNMD. That can be enough for a small cap company like that to get going. Jumaya Technologies, German-based e-commerce firm. We've looked at many times when it ran all the way up here to $70, if you remember, going back to the beginning of the year. To the upside here, they're going to report, I think it's Thursday. I'll double check, but Jumaya had earnings saying some positive things this morning. So JMIA moving.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's an old one.
When they
Remember
say
that.
positive things, that's good. I was debating just getting into something right now. SoFi, I mean, I keep talking about it. It just keeps on going up. So, I think you have this 2120 right here as a level. If you break down SoFi, man, I mean, we're already upside. This is a 20-minute chart. Looks like we're going to take out this 2180 that we made with these wicks. That's what the most nervous thing is these wick tops. Sometimes you can see these bottoms or these tops get made there, and then the next thing you know, this is what happens. So you wick the top and then you come right back down. So that's really what's making me nervous here about this SoFi trade. I still think there's obviously going to be money to be made there, but we are looking at that 2180 top there. So a little bit nervous on that kind of a play, but again, I'm not sure if I want to go short on SoFi. So we'll wait to see a little bit of a pullback in is what I'm thinking here is what we want to do on this name. So we're going to watch out for SoFi coming back in through 2180, a good potential there.
Yeah, I just double checked to make sure we have locates on Jumaya. It's only 8%, but sort of keep in mind the fact that I think it was slightly down at the open. But either way, it's getting into some interesting levels. I mean, 19 even, that's great. It's a round number, fair enough. It's there right now. But I'm sort of looking more closely at 1935 to 1950 if it gets to that top end. I kind of feel like it's an interesting thing because Tesla obviously is going to be good for both of us here today. But it's like that long 11.25 gives you. I mean, let's call it $20 to $25 for Sean. The 11.50 short gives you the same thing pulling into the downside. And I said this, and I'm only repeating this because it's all about getting better. I said this last week. Sometimes as a trader, you have to just adjust to the fact that when the stock gets expensive really fast, so the price moves, you have to adjust the amount of growth that you want to take out of it. So I'm still in a mode where I think $10 is good on Tesla. And certainly I know we both made those trades, but sometimes you just got to hang on thinking it's going to be a little bit more than that because Tesla certainly moving a ton. It is still, despite this chart, we're giving it $10, $20 moves up and down. It's still up 1% on the session. And that's in the context of the NASDAQ turning red and the ES being essentially dead flat. So both markets coming back in and Tesla holding up pretty well, at least so far. I want to get back over to this ARTL, which is the small cap that I am still shorting. It gives the capitulation. It's now down through 110. I'm now holding this thing for $1, but I almost want to be just about all flat at $1 because you never want to look gift horse in the mouth. I shorted a 105 level when $1 held, which was fine going into it, but here's a huge mistake. Never, ever, ever. If you short like a 104, 105, I don't give a damn what the stock is, what you think about it, and it bounces off $1, don't reload at the same price when it just showed support at $1. Sometimes there's buyers that come in there. This is exactly what happens. It cranks up. I don't mind that I was short going into it, but I should have just been covering at 105 and waiting for another trade. Instead, I decided to hold through. Bouncing off $1 for penny stock is kind of a bullish move, especially when it's already started to come in like 25%. So I fell for that one. I was fortunate to get back green on the stock today. You don't always get that second chance.
No, yeah, and I think it's just more about share size, right? It's about like making sure that you can stay alive regardless of your capabilities there. Great call on that name. Okay, so we are short SoFi right here off that 80 level. So far so good, man. Short 69. We'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, man, we are super happy. Superman with AMC today. There's the call, man. Breaking through, and we have the long already. So we've been holding this AMC trade, and we'll see where it goes for now. But nice move, right up to the high of the day again. Not again, for the first time. We talked about this, why we liked it, what's going on with AMC right now. Beautiful trade up to, there it is. Yes, sir, let's spin it. What a day we're having here again today as the saga continues. Wu-Tang, all the way to the upside right now. 36.70 breaking on AMC, man. Just another 70 cents. I was going to say $7. $7 was on Tesla, as Neil already talked about that. But right now, 70 cents in the money now and rocking. What about this one? Come on. I'm actually bidding 53s. There it is. Let's take this out. So we get a little bid out there on SoFi. Yes, sir. Well, this is like a carnival here today. Bang, right there as we hit it to the big side there on another trade here for SoFi. In there, out there. Good trading on SOFI. Right back into 50. Look, it takes out 80. It takes out 80. We just took right there 20 cents on that trade. Oh, no, we got a 53. So 17 cents on that trade. And our risk is 11 cents to the upside. So far, so good on that one as we'll just watch it just come through here. Hopefully, SoFi can retrace back to the, look, I'm a shareholder. But for this day trade, we'll see if we can get back down to 21.30 or so. Let's put a bid here at 21.40 and see if we can't capture more on the downside here with SoFi. So far, so good with SoFi.
I like that one. That one writes itself and definitely a good stock. And it's been a great bullish name. for weeks, I want to say. ABVC, maybe VWAP matters, I don't know, but he just got off the hump a little bit, stalled out at 930, which is also VWAP. I think that's why it's making this bit of a turn. If it can't make this break, I think now we're going to get that push to $8. But I mean, the bulls have been somewhat in control of this because it has not had any halts down. It had a halt to the upside. There's been a couple of capitulations that have been bought back up. So as much as the short is in the money and working well, we're going to be okay with it. We got to watch out. If it breaks that 10 even, I think this could still run. There's lots of room to do so. ARTL, almost all out of it. It's now down at 107. It got down as low as 104. And then you got to be kidding me, because this is one I'm sort of saying to myself, you gotta ring registers at some point on stocks like this. But Plug, it feels like a place to actually start taking some off here. It rejects the 41 break. It's now back to $40. But this is from consolidation. It's a 50% move. Right? From the 30 break, you're essentially getting a nice clean 30, 1/3 break to the upside. You then break the 200 period at 35, and it gives you 35 to 40s. That was resistance here. So there's been a lot of breakouts on Plug, and then $40 just feels like a price area people are starting to take some profit. So it's a great runner with the market coming back in.
Go.
And rigging the register does make some sense. That BKKT, by the way, if you didn't short it, whoops, that's not the deal. If you didn't short it off the reopen, I don't know if I want to chase this one, but like I said, when it starts to come back in, it comes back pretty heavily, and that's exactly what happened here. Now down $6 since it opened back up and showing no signs of slowing down.
Oh, wow. Okay, so SoFi does break 50, kind of. We were expecting it. Obviously, we're waiting for a lot lower here on SoFi, but then it rejected that 50 break. So I put a bid at 47 to get out of more shares here. We were waiting for down here like 38, 39, something like that, but we just had a pretty decent break there at 50, and then it wicked down to 45 and came right back. So I am bidding 47s. We'll see if we can get a tick out there, and then try to hold. Like if we can get a move, there it is. So yes, sir. So once again, man, we'll take that trade as yeah. Someone said the Brampton man is killing it, but me, Neil, and what's his name over there? Brendan there, are all from Brampton. So yeah, we are all
born,
hopefully.
Right? Even?
Yeah, I'm born in Brampton. I don't know. I think Brendan. I don't know where Brendan's born in, but I think it's going to be Brampton. I'm going to go with Brampton. So we'll say that. So anyways, and then Pratt is going to be in, or is he in the building? Yeah, he's in the building. He's there. Brampton native. Pratt. So, all right, let's get ready to rock and roll. We're going to go over to the big screen now as I see, I don't think either one of us traded this today. So let's go over and see Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, it was a little bit south, Etobicoke, the former city or metropolis of Etobicoke, but close enough. U.S. Wells Service, we talked about just before the open here. If you go to the daily chart, stuck in a range from 240 up to 340. So it was just fading back down. I was going to be done with this and am done with this in front of that 240. So it did give you a nice fade. USWS went back to the well with PHUN. That's almost, I had an offer up here in front of this 430 at 29. It missed me by 2 pennies and then proceeded to fall about 50 cents. So a nice trade on PHUN. This ABVC, great two-way action depending on how you were looking at it. I was only long. $8 was support here in the pre-market. It ran all the way up to 11 at the open. So depending on how you're looking at it, great action there for ABVC. Guys, back over to you.
I have to clarify as well. I believe me and Brandon probably born in the same hospital there, so Etobicoke General.
Very likely.
Correct. Bang. So there you go. So Brendan, Brendan keeping it real with saying, not quite from Brampton.
But you lived in.
Of course. Yeah. I don't know why it was Etobicoke General. I was born in I was living in the J section, if anybody knows.
I know people that, I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. Just, I guess it depends where your doctor was, your physician at that time. So shout out to everybody from Bramptonia there. SoFi, again, it looks like that was going to be a good out there. We'll just kind of review some of the trades we have on. And then AMC still 65 cents in the money. So, hey, look, man, super happy with the trading today, needless to say, but still more work to be done as I think AMC takes out the top. Yeah.
Lucid's at $36. So, obviously, it did that failed break, but I think we were both looking at like that closer to that 41.5 top from yesterday, at least closer to 41. This BTTX, that new SPAC, is now halted a second time to the upside. We have no locates. So, if it goes to 21, I'm going to obviously have wanted to short it. It gets to 21, 20 to 21. Right now, the long trade is the only one to go. I believe it is a small float. I have to double check to see exactly how big it is. But again, be very careful treading. Tread lightly on some of these, especially when they've halted once or twice. Should be a 5-minute halt, so it opens up in just about 1 minute. ABVC feels like, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but when you have something else halting to the upside a couple of times and some strong runners, a lot of times these other names start to fall off a little bit. I think this just rejected VWAP more than anything else. And Lucid, like I mentioned just now, a bit of a missed opportunity. That 9:30 rollover trade, I guess you had to forget about last week's highs and just sort of zero in on the pre-market high. Then you could have had that 40 short. Now down to 35 bucks. This was the squeeze name and getting very, very close to 35 even, which on Friday was the bottom. Multiple, I mean, it was, I guess, almost a triple bottom there at 35.30 or 35.40 or so, and getting very, very close to testing that level. So that's your only support on Lucid. It either bounces there or, I don't know, I guess it didn't halt down yet. It kind of feels like it has that potential, and I don't know why necessarily it hasn't already, but I guess some buyers are stepping in. I wouldn't touch it until it actually shows me that it wants to bounce off 35 and consolidate.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening right here with AMD either, but we'll take a small long here on this as it's just starting to rip back up to the upside right now. Goes AMD. So, whoops, come on, chart, let's go. We just bought a small piece now as they were getting beat down, and this is why it's not a huge piece because again, you know, it wasn't having a nice day. Was AMD, and we talked about that downgrade, so on and so forth today, down to 118. But there it goes right back to the upside. So we'll take a shot right now on that name. In the money now, 15 cents and moving. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this name continues to work for ourselves to the upside right now. Goes AMD, and you know, very, very risky spot here. I don't know what caused that move up. Might just be the NASDAQ trying to get back to zero here, but I don't know. This is going to be a risky position, but right now we are long AMD. Let's see if it can get some love to the backside here. I mean, we love this name. And there it goes, man, instantly in the money, 25 cents plus. Maybe we just take this out, man. This is the kind of day we're having. Let's just top these all up. There goes AMD. Nice move to the upside.
Yeah, nice move there on AMD. Oh, look, Tisha was asking if we're going to trade BTTX. It has to be long if we're going to because we have no locates on it. I'm going to keep checking. But it just opened back up, tanked, held 1550 here, which is above that previous initial halt price at 15, and is attempting to break back out again. It does feel like there's some selling coming into this. You saw what happened when ABVC like you halted to the upside and then rejected on the reopen to go higher. It became a bit of a short trade. So I'm not going to force a long just because I can only go long. It looks like it's relatively weak after that reopen, and I can't short it off that 17 level. Otherwise, I would. And you're seeing what's happening here as it starts to come back into that downside. There was this MMYT that if Brendan brought this to us, I apologize. But they had just announced a partnership deal with Amazon 15 minutes or so ago. It gets a spike and then comes right back in. So I thought maybe this would be a little bit more. Usually you get the Amazon bump and you kind of sustain your move, but they've come all the way back and sort of barcoding here for potential 34 break, but I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can barely see. There's no volume. So it's coming back up and trying to break out, but zero volume on this. So I guess the hype has ended pretty quickly on this name.
And we'll dab it up. I mean, honestly, man, like, I got to get this lottery ticket. Like, I don't even know what's going on. As there we go, AMD, 42 out, 88 there. So a quick 50 cents, 40 cents there. As we did, honestly, man, I just like upped it, put it up there, and offered it out because I was a little bit nervous about this 121. I can't look at a daily chart. This 121 coming through here on AMD. So here's a 20-minute chart. Just thought there's maybe some resistance up there, but I guess we could have always held it. But again, at 10.25, if we can just make that kind of a banger right there instantly, as I know some of you probably able to make that as well. So there it is right there. One in and one out. Like all my trades today have basically been one in, one out. Like look at SoFi right now. You want to talk about another good one. There's one in. I mean, it's going to be multiple outs, but there's one in cash. AMC, let's go. Chicken dinner winners right now. Have some chicken wings and enjoy tonight's football match as I'm going to need, like I have the second highest points. I'm facing the guy with the highest points. So hopefully tonight I get some Williams action, the Kansas City running back, which game flow should be in the favor of running backs tonight.
Although, remember, Sean, the suicide pool is a bigger deal for us than 1 week of fantasy, and we actually want KC to lose tonight.
Which is fine. I mean, I could take that, man.
I want them to be chasing
a last-minute field. The thing is, if they lose, man, they're not going to be chasing points, I don't think. I think it's going to be one of those last-minute things. Like, if for some reason the Giants are dominating the Kansas City Chiefs tonight, then honestly, man, like, I know you went from hero last year, you won the pool, which is all that matters. But, like, Mahomes, I mean, I don't know.
Mahomes is killing me, man.
Have they figured it out?
Don't worry. Mahomes,
I'm not worried.
Mahomes is going to crush him this week.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So I don't, like, I of all people I should have seen, I've been paying attention to Silvergate up 10% here. But since we've gotten to this one late, here's the daily chart for Silvergate. This lower high, 180, and then last week's top at 175, both coming into play today. Look at this 175 high. You go up 10% and then go right to 175 even. Give me a break. So the same thing that happened on Spotify. You made that top on the daily, and then you want to short a lower high. You could have done it at 173.50. If we get anywhere close to that, I'm going to take a shot shorting Silvergate. Love the stock. That's great, but wow, this is setting up for an interesting pullback. And remember, Bitcoin price is essentially flat, so you're having Coinbase and Silvergate run anyways. Brendo.
I was just checking on MMYT. I'll show you that in a sec. But ABNB having a day here, guys. Just made a day high. 175 broke once again, but getting back up here to big time levels. 175 for Airbnb. It looks like it's Amazon Pay and Make My Trip. So MMYT is Make My Trip, which is a travel website. It's so buy now, pay later service from Amazon. It doesn't actually say anything about advertising or actually using their marketplace, so might just be that catalyst for MMYT. But Airbnb having a nice day as well.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Should have thought about that on the follow-through of that. That's why when you're looking at AMD or some of these other names, you know, it also does make a lot of sense to look at an NVIDIA, NXPI, things like that. So that makes a lot of sense for that play. Good call, Brendan.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my goodness. So you gotta be careful trading something like a Silvergate because the spread can really get you. Like even just trying to get shares there at 173, it just immediately pulls back like $2 with an 80-cent spread. So I'm gonna pull away. Like if I can't actually get it when it's ticking up here, if it bounces off of 71 and then you're just sitting on the offer and get taken out, you probably don't want to fill. I probably don't want to fill at that point. So the setup was good, and now it looks like it's getting away from me a little bit. That BTTX, which again, like I said, can only go long. Don't have any locates on this name. Has rejected a breakdown at the Hall price at 15 even. Now consolidating upside here. Now 17 sits as a break. I see this wick above here, but I wasn't watching the stock to see whether it was just a dark pool or whether it actually broke 17. Either way, a bit of a bullish push here in BTTX. That is a brand new SPAC. I believe it made the watch list, so always check out our free watch list daily. 17 even is setting up for a bit of a break. Just keep in mind this stock, every time it breaks out from a consolidation, I'm anticipating a halt. So cover in front of, cover at 5%, cover at 10%, unless you want to get trapped in a halt, which I basically never do.
Yeah, no, we don't ever want to do that. We're now $1.15 or so in the money on AMC. So if we hit this, where's the AMC thing here? I thought I had it somewhere. There it is. If we hit this, it makes AMC go up. So hopefully that can start to go up now. AMC, we're already in the money $1. Nice trade happening right there for us as well. SoFi came. Oh, I thought I was going to get out at 80. I guess I didn't. I have. Again, pretty small amount of shares up, but it does break back down through 80. That's why we got out there. We should have noticed that, but now we're coming up to 21. Let's short one more time. I guess I didn't put the trigger in. Oops, there I was. I was going to say the trigger was at 86. Darn it. So took a hit there on SoFi on the last piece, but watch out for 21, man. SoFi's still starting to run. We're still up on SoFi. We're up actually pretty decently on it, so we'll wait to see where it goes now. But we did reverse into a long position now on SoFi, so up to 21. Here we come with SoFi. Let's see where we go from here. 21 coming out.
Oh, good call. I see Angel Allen Francis F-Cell breakout on the daily. I mean, I have my 15-minute chart up, and this is the break. And maybe I can go to the daily in a quick second, but $9 is about 200,000 shares on the offer of it. But this is a level that we actually shorted 880 on F-Cell just last week, and you're going to see this break happening around the same price at that daily chart. So definitely significant. Here is your level 2. It's done 21 million shares, so look, 200,000 shares. It looks impressive on the level 2 here, but that's essentially nothing. If it was a decent size level, I'd probably already be short 98 and 99, and then just looking to take it out if 9 even breaks. I'm not even doing that here because that's essentially nothing on the offer as far as I'm concerned. So decent chance it breaks through. Your breakout to me was closer to that 880 to 885. From the 15-minute chart there. So the 9 even break I don't like as much. If it does a fail break and can hold it at 80 to 85, I think that's an interesting way to get in. Or maybe it sustains, consolidates, and finds a bit above 9 even. But good look there. Just wanted to show you guys that level 2. a lot of times you'll see me short something like that, but you have to always have context in mind. It can look like big size relative to the bid ask, but always keep in mind how much volume the stock has done on the day, and that was nothing sitting there at 9 even.
We did go short SoFi right now against that 22, sorry, not 21. What's up, Brendan?
Another one having a pretty good day here. VUZI, V-U-Z-I, just popping through 12 on a volume spike. They announced some new features. They have AR glasses, smart glasses, so some new features involving businesses and the ability to include the public in on meetings if possible. So VUZI on the move as well. 10:30, guys, let's get a check on how things are shaping up over in Europe. What's up, Miss V?
Hey Brandon, European markets start the new month in a positive territory. Pharmaceutical company Sanofi trading in Paris is up around 2% after HSBC upgraded the stock to buy. Back to you.
All right, coming up in about 15 minutes, guys, great guest coming through in the gold space, Caliber Mining, coming through to talk a little bit about some new work in South America that they're doing right now. This is a company that is a bit of a spin-off from a very successful company that was in Canada for quite some time on the West Coast. So Caliber Mining coming up in 15 minutes, guys.
All right.
Oh, so crap. I mean, I was just literally answering a question there. When that 17 break happened on BTTX there, I got 17, so a little bit of slippage there. I got 1720s when it finally broke out, and then it goes, it goes up to 18 even, rejects coming back down in. So I don't know, this is a bit of a failed break. If I get a chance to get some out in front of like that 18, I'm definitely going to go ahead and take it, but that looks like a failed break. Should have had some out in front of 18, just wasn't necessarily fast enough, and this could be headed right back down. I'm going to double check to make sure, at some point, to make sure that we don't have locates still. I'd love to be able to have them, but if I can only go to the long side, I want to make sure that I get out. If it breaks 1650, I'm just going to cover this. I should have been taking some out at 50s and then some at 18 even, but it happened very, very quickly, and I kind of caught myself doing double duty. Someone was asking what the plan was on plug. All I was simply saying is, and I can't do this until after the show, like this 40 to 41 area is a great place to be ringing the register. If you have any of those swing trades long, it makes some sense. And it's been a strong, strong mover, and now making a lower high. I did try a similar setup on Silvergate and was unable to get the shares there. And then this ARTL, by the way, it's back down to $1, so it looks like it's trying to bounce off this dollar. There's nothing on the bid. I'm basically all out of this. Like, I have actually less than 10% of the position left, but I'm going to hang on to it because second break of $1, this thing could easily go to 90 cents, right? So it could go another 10% to the downside. So we'll hang on to the rest, maybe pop a bid here in front of 95 cents, just in the off chance that something crazy does happen on this ARTL. A lot of times it's a key level break like this, and if it wasn't a big move down, if the consolidation was tighter, I might actually take more shares to the short side there. I don't see a reason to do that. It's already bounced once. If it gets back above 105, I'll be all flat. But ARTL was fortunate to be able to get back in when it rejected the high of the day. Don't need that stop order anymore up there. Looks like that's going to come all the way back for me on the ARTX. So pretty good day so far. We'll see what happens with this BTTX because it's still kind of rejecting that 17 break. I mean, it's come down 1650, held that, back to 17 even, and now it's flat. And then can't seem to really go. It still has a chance. I'll definitely take some out in front of 18, but it still has a chance that if it breaks from here, you're taking out 18 and halting to the upside, which is what I anticipated happening when it broke 17. Clearly, it didn't do so, though.
Okay, let's. I'm going to show it to Brendan here because maybe there's something going on in the cannabis space. We talked about Tilray, of course, the opposite. I thought they got downgraded today. They're ripping. I mean, everything's. I mean, I don't know about ripping right here, but CGC is up that 5%. Tilray's up 3%. CGC, like, look at this, straight up ever since the open, bang, hits 52-week lows. Of course, and then rips up to the upside. But like I said, well, how they got to beat down and downgrade this sector in Tilray and specifically. But you can see here, Canopy. I think this is the number one play in the space if you want to get some exposure to the cannabis space. I think you got to go into CGC, but at the same time, Tilray today with the downgrade and CGC catching a little bit of a bid here. So I can't go long. I just bring it to everyone's attention because I always feel like, and we talk about this, you fade. Whenever cannabis is up, you kind of fade it out. So we'll see here. I'm thinking about going short right now into this I mean, even against this 330, it's not horrible. There's going to be nothing here. I mean, I can't even look at a 20-minute chart. Actually, maybe there is something there. 335. Okay, so I think this is worth it. I'm going to go short here on CGC unless there's some groundbreaking news that I don't know about. Let's go short here against it. This position could blow up against us. So if it does, it does. We're not getting you too much room. 1335. So literally like a dime worth of space here to see if we can't get a dime bag worth on the way back down here on CGC. So we'll see about that one. But right now, I think it's worth it. A nice little spike up there. I mean, unless there's something I'm missing, I don't know any news here on the cannabis space today other than, I guess, just getting off the bottom. So let's go short here on this play with about a dime worth of space.
There you go. And that BKKT looks like it's found a little bit of life. It gets off this 37, back above 40. Now, look, I just want to keep in mind on this move a couple of things. One, there's going to be that halt price. You can also go back to, let's zoom in the 15 minutes so you can see this a bit better. You can go back to around this 42.5, which was a rejection in the pre-market. In the aftermarket as well, on Friday, you had support at 42.50. So I think that's going to be the level of concern for me, at least looking to short it. In front of that halt price at 43 even, so that gives you an entry point, maybe 50 cents worth of risk. If you give it to the high of the day, that's $1.50. I think that sets up pretty well here. Tesla, by the way, well, we're still negative on the NASDAQ, and I'm also pretty sure the ES as I look out of the corner of my eye. Tesla, load. There you go. Tesla says hold my beer, because that's what it usually does.
Yep.
And it's back up to this 1140. Now, I'm not taking 1150 a second time through. If it does break that high, the 1150, well, it gets a high since the open. If it does break that 1150 and retest the pre-market highs, that would be a rollover. Like every time, to me, if I short Tesla, it's like, don't do the same price twice. You'll kind of get burned for it. So I'll go a level higher if there's any chance to be had. Tesla, once again, relative strength. BTTX, there's a nice little battle being waged here around the 17 even. Now, I'm sitting here with a 1720 long because I got slippage. But 17, you're seeing it go back and forth, consolidating. Still a chance that it can break this 18. I want to cover some and then hold through a break of 18 even. If it gets anywhere near 20 to 21, I think obviously based on the chart, I kind of like the short up there. But BTTX. I might mix those two up a few times here today. BTTX, I mean, potentially still the breakout possibly working, but keep a quick eye on that one. And ARTL bounces off $1. Okay, we're out of just about everything, so no 95 cents on that one, but we're short at $1.31, so we can't be complaining.
No, that's a good one. SoFi breaks, and I realized I put the stop order at the wrong price. So we got out of a little bit there at 22.08. Remember, we were going to use 22 as our out, and I kept saying 21, so I actually put the stop at 21. So obviously that just triggered and just sat down here at $21. So you missed that one. But we're going to give back some on SoFi here. But we are short again. Just thinking, this is that trade, the wick off top. I'm thinking about right there. If we can, I mean, maybe I can hear. Hold on a second. Let's just get rid of these fills so you can sort of see what I'm talking about. If you're joining us, anything purple downside, it's going to be a short sell, so I can show you that in a minute as well. But there it is right there. That wick right there might have turned it. So we'll see there. I mean, I don't know. You got some of these bottom wicks here before starting to go back to the upside, like right there, boom. We'll see. We don't have too many top wicks. Right there, we had one at 21.50 and brought it down to 21.18. So we'll see there if that's going to be true. If not, then obviously we're going to get out at a 22.20 break or so on SoFi. So we'll put those back on. And here's what I'm talking about with the fills. So you can see, you put them back on there, and then you see where we are. So here's a short and out, and then we shorted there. I don't know why I have an out there, but okay, so short there again, and you all know that we got blown out on that short, so now we go back into the short, and now we're right back into this name. So let's see where we go on SoFi. Hopefully that can work out for us. And then just an update, I guess diamond hands I do not have. Oh, that reminds me, oh, shoot, I retweeted it last night. I don't know, here it is. Check out this pumpkin, guys. So thanks to my wife Marissa for this one. Look what she made. She got diamond hands here, hands with diamonds, and today it worked out pretty good for us. As there it is. Thank you for that. So that's a good one. I'll put that if you want to. Please like it or retweet it or something. I think that was pretty cool for that. So I'll put that in there right now. Is DTTW a stock?
No,
it is not. It's definitely who we work with here. As AMC, and just an update on AMC. I think we did pretty good for diamond hands, man. We held 35.90 all the way up through 37.10. That was $1.25 in the money. Then we finally get out on a break back down. So thank you to Marissa. That diamond hand pumpkin definitely. Yeah, best pumpkin ever. There it is right there. So put it on there, guys. If you can go follow her and then tweet it, retweet it, do all that good fun stuff. And let's have a good time as a fun community here on Twitter and with Trader TV Live. Without any further ado, that board actually looks pretty mixed, but it looks more to the green side or the blue side. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Even though we're down.
Yeah, when we go, I know, that's weird. When we go over to Sector Watch with Brendo.
It is weird.
Hey guys, yeah, pretty uneventful board to show you today. Keep in mind with this board, the thing you want to keep in mind is the size of the box and then the intensity of the color. It's a heat map, right? So the bigger the box, the intense the color is, the bigger the move. In this case today, there's not a lot going on. Overall down for the S&P 0.15 here in negative territory. Energy stocks trying to offset. Communication services trying to offset to the upside. Discovery having a nice day, about 5%. Viacom here as well. Twitter having a nice day as well, 2.25% there for Twitter. Oil's up. That means energy is up. This is the little tiny real estate group, not really doing much, but in negative territory. Healthcare, information technology, and financial stocks are all about break even. So you're going to see a lot of positivity, but then enough negativity to kind of offset anything that is moving higher. Western Digital, we mentioned the end of last week coming off of earnings. STX rallying along with that in the hardware names, but software names are negative. Semiconductors positive, but not enough. Same story over here. Financial or diversified financials are positive. BEN, 10.5% off earnings. Insurance names offsetting all of that and then some. Consumer discretionary stocks, there is some positivity in the travel names. Again, hotels, casinos, cruise lines, all in positive territory, but again, not enough. So pretty uneventful day so far. We are negative 0.14 to the downside, guys. Back over to you.
Thank you very much there, Brendan. While that was happening, that ABVC, the alphabet stock, there it is, broke through VWAP. Actually, accidentally got in the long when I covered my position. We're sitting in the short all, maybe the last, let's call it like hour or so since the open. It was a good one, get down to $8, but now you're breaking back up. Again, I do not want to get caught in this stock if it breaks that 10 even, which it looks like it has a chance to do. That BTTX was able to get some locates on this, and the long doesn't work out. It goes back off 16. If it does make a failed push up to 18, I think it's going to turn into a bit of a short. Thank you. We appreciate the super chat. And we're talking about Tesla potentially accepting Shibu. I haven't seen that story, obviously.
Well, here, let's just double
again,
check.
No, I mean...
No, let's just double check. I mean, there's only one way to
They
check.
would be double the price. Well, maybe not double.
Well,
it would be up,
matter.
it would be up significantly if it was...
Right, like let's just... I get it, you guys got me, but whatever. I'm part of SHIB Army, so I don't really care. Yeah. But I'm happy to show you this. I did buy some yesterday at the 6 and change as we were popping through 7. So a nice move overnight there. Obviously, I didn't take advantage of any of this, but nice move on SHIB coin straight up to the upside. So good play. Anybody that's on Shiba Inu, congratulations, man. I cannot believe how well that has worked out. Okay, so AMC, okay, we're already out of that one. Let's talk about SoFi right now. We did take that short again and got some out. So SoFi's just, it's going to have to come back down because this short there, 21.85, it does get blown out to the upside there through 22. I think it's done a little bit too much today, up that 10%. But without any further ado, we have our guest of the day, and it's Brendan at the big desk. Let's go.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Yeah, Caliber Mining engages in the acquisition and deal making of gold properties. We are talking with Senior Vice President and Investor Relations, Ryan King, with us today to talk a little bit about how this format, Ryan, of the success that came from Kirkland Lake is being transformed, I guess, or used again in the same sense in this new venture in South America. Great to have you on the show. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about Caliber.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brendan. Yeah, so you're absolutely right. The same team that's formed Caliber Mining was very instrumental in forming Kirkland Lake Gold. We actually formed a company called New Market Gold that was very successful in finding new deposits, very high-grade underground deposits. And we then financially engineered that deal with Kirkland Lake, which went on and did, I think, 6 or 7 times the share price when we merged that company. So we stepped back, we did that, and now we're on to Caliber Mining, where we're trying to rinse and repeat that opportunity. So buying gold production with exploration or optimization upside and advance another new venture like that to create a multi-asset, multi-tiered gold producer with a lot of upside.
Go back to 2019 and talk about B2 Gold, which was the acquisition that Calibre made to kick off this new venture in South America. Tell us a little bit about that deal and how we got to where we are today.
Yeah, thanks. No, I mean, again, back in 2019, we acquired this gold production and partnered with B2 Gold for a US $100 million deal. And our operating team, particularly our chief executive officer, has done this many times in his career. He was almost 30 years at Newmont, looking at all their operations around the world and optimizing them. So Darren Hall looked at these opportunities and said, with focus and 100% of our financial resources, we can unlock a lot more value here. So over the last 2 years, we've been investing in the drill bit. We've been optimizing these assets through what we call a hub and spoke approach, because there's a lot of installed processing capacity in one of these mills. So capital has been sunk, and now it's all about what we can do, leveraging off the significant resources in the ground, but also the significant upside from the installed mill capacity that we can process a lot more than what we're currently processing.
Highest reserves in 10 years from these assets, which is quite the achievement and quite the asset to have, obviously. Let's talk a little bit about the cost ratio here, because when you told me when we had a little bit of a pre-interview call, that was very impressive. Talk a little bit about the cost ratio here for mining in this location and what that means for the company as far as funding going forward.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, obviously, it's all about the margin, right? And we've been very successful in optimizing the assets, not only from a production basis, but also from a cost basis as well, by implementing this new operating strategy. So I think last year, our all-in sustaining cost was about $1,095 all-in sustaining costs, and gold prices were between basically $1,800 and $2,000 an ounce. There's a very significant margin there, which is allowing us to reinvest back into the assets, not only in the mines, but in particularly in the drill bit. I mean, I think we've averaged about 16 drills turning. That's all funded through operating cash flow that goes back into these assets to discover new zones or expand resources. And that's where the big value is. And that's what investors look for, is what is this upside opportunity? Through cash flow, we reinvest back into the business, and we work towards making those new discoveries and expanding resources. And that's really what it's all about when you look at a gold mining or any sort of commodity-based company.
And one of the positives that we can kind of lean on and reiterate here is the fact that the company is able to self-fund projects going forward. So if we're expanding outside of the current project, acquiring new assets further, that's all going to be funded in-house. There's no need to incur debt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think year to date, we've got about $73 million in cash. Every quarter, we're doing $25 to $30 million in operating cash flow. We do about $5 to $15 million in free cash flow. And really importantly, we've been very focused on our capital allocation and discipline. We have no debt, and we are unhedged. So we're completely free to see the growth potential to the upside with where this gold price could go.
And exciting news as well out last week, as the company announced it was moving into the U.S., acquiring some assets in the state of Nevada. Tell everyone about that.
Yeah, exactly. Exciting opportunity. And again, this is very similar to what we did previously in the Newmarket Kirkland Lake deal. Although this time we're going to stick with these assets and work very closely with that strong operating team in Nevada. Yeah, we acquired Fiore Gold, which has the operating pan heap leach mine in Nevada that produces about 40 to 50,000 ounces a year. They've done an incredible job there. And we see very good opportunity to grow the resource and reserve base there through the drill bit. But also there's a very nice development stage gold project within 20 kilometers of this asset. And again, like we've done with these assets in Central America, Nicaragua, we see the opportunity to self-fund through our cash flow and operations, not only to advance this gold rock project, but also to put some more rigs on the property and see what the opportunity could be from a discovery or a resource expansion opportunity, creating a much more stronger financial product that's all backed by gold. So very exciting to see where this could go in the future, in the near term.
Lots of opportunities in the gold space still. A lot of people obviously getting attracted to the Bitcoin type of mining and the cryptocurrency type of mining, but never want to forget about the traditional mining as well. Caliber Mining, Ryan King, Senior Vice President, Corporate Development and Investor Relations. Great to have you on the show. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks, Brandon.
There we go, guys. Caliber Mining at CXB, listed here in Toronto.
Yes, sir.
There you go, another great one there. Brennan, that CXB, just actually not a bad looking daily chart there. Getting back to that 50 period and finding some support, but there's some support on the bid of Tesla. In case you had, well, I mean, there was, I should say, because we've already made a fresh bottom. Oh, can't zoom down. There we go. Having a little trouble rolling down on my quote board there, but Tesla making that bottom at 1120. Higher low, and then right back to 1150. Now, I guess, as I said, I'm not shorting the same price twice. If you did, you already stopped out at 50s. Huge run. Now 3% Tesla. The market trying to get back into the green, but Lucid also at the same time catching a bid. You're going to get that. It doesn't go to 35. Okay, I like 35. Fair enough. That's come and gone. Lower high 36. Now trying to break out through 37. Should have been actually trying to get the long instead of, there we go. Always talk about it, and it's like,
I know, that's the worst part.
It breaks 37 there. I get slipped. We got 06s on this little bit of a break here on Tesla, not Tesla. I mean, looking at Tesla, but Lucid catching a bit of a bid as well. I think decent chance to at least get into the 50s and then VWAP on this little bit of a break. Out of the corner of my eye, I'm going to be watching the market, going to be watching Tesla. If that makes a run at that high of the day, I think that only helps Lucid in this regard, but this was a bit of resistance on the way down, and then it made that capitulation bottom. Now you're getting a bit of a breakout here on Lucid, which is back to green on the session, even if barely. So it's also a negative to positive story as it closed at 36.99 on Friday.
Yeah, it's some of these ranges now are like not expected, right? So things trading definitely a little bit different than we are used to over the last little while. But Tesla's just one of those crazy stocks. You can't treat that the same as all the rest. So that's for sure. That was a very interesting idea there coming from Kirkland Lake. So thank you, Brendan, for that interview for sure. I think there's some opportunities there for you traders to look at that name. So we'll leave it at that. SoFi, so whatever, not going down. We'll wait to see where it goes from here. I still obviously like the name SoFi, but we'll go. We are short. We're short off that top 22.15. I want to be short this name the rest of the day here. So if that does come through, we'll wait for it. But right now, SoFi, hoping that it can come through. We did get a 90 bid. Now we're waiting down here in the 70s. So let's wait to see where SoFi goes. But again, I think to the downside is definitely where I'm thinking. And then CGC, I do want to short these pops. So we talked about that one again. Into this level right here, so why not use 1350? I'm going to use 1340 just in case we're a little wronger than we think we might be on this name. So right now CGC looks like it wants to go to the downside, and we're happy with that. And it doesn't look like it wants to go to the top side, but I'm hoping a bounce off this 1340 gives what we need. So we are short right now, right at this price, man. 1331 is where we're short now on CGC after one average in, and you could see there, like my average in is at 35. And at 26, so now giving me an average price of 31, so 80% more shares short at that level.
So I just sort of I was about to be upset of the fact that BTTX just broke 18 on one wick up and immediately rejected, and I'm sitting there trying to get shares short, 17 and a half, 17 even, like, why can't I get into position? Oh, that's right, because we don't have any locates. So I forgot that we didn't have any shortable shares as I was scrambling. This is a real candle. Like, this is no dark pool nonsense. It spiked from 17 up through 18 to like 1850 and then immediately rejected back in. So a bit of a capitulation there, but like I said, don't have any locates, so I'm not gonna be able to do anything about it. That ARTL, it did go to 95 cents. So we can do this one, the gates of hell. Once a penny stock, always a penny stock. I mean, that's not necessarily true, but in this particular case, it finally does break $1. And I learned my lesson from shorting it at 105. Allow it to fail at the top, and then we go ahead with it. Tesla's making a bit of a turn at 1155. So this is going to put a kaput on two things. One, I would have liked that turn at 1160. And if this is a turn here, $5 short, I don't want it the second time through. The other edge of that coin is Lucid, which we liked for that break. Well, if Tesla's going to come back in, this is what's going to happen to Lucid. I'll probably give it to like a 36.50, but unless Tesla finds a bid real quick, I don't see this continuing that breakout. Is what it is. It's kind of just following lockstep. So as I watch Tesla get to this 1145 area, if we can find a bid there, I think I'm okay with Lucid. If we don't, I'll probably be in and out of this long very, very quickly. And Tesla, short it at your own peril, but when the setup is there, you can make your trade. You just have to have an out. Like, there is no such thing as shorting Tesla without an out. I think that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, I am cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. As same, I mean, both ways.
I love those.
Short or long.
I can't
Look
wait
at
for lunch
SoFi right now as bang. You like that one? Here we go. SoFi right now, bang. Brendan right there. That's good timing right there. All the way down to 75, man. 35 cents in the money on this SoFi short. So, as we like that. Oh, and a big shout out to, that was pretty unnecessary, to the Playmaker right now. He's parked in front of a Lucid showroom in Miami. Yo, what up, Miami? South Beach. We'll wait to see where it goes from there. But
Pick one up, drive the
there go, tweet sent. So we need the scary Halloween animations. Yeah, well then,
Don't scare the kids.
Scare all the kids as you go to the downside right now. So SoFi, nice out, man. Breaking back lower. I'll find that tweet there, L Playmaker, and I hope you making some big plays as well. What up, B?
A couple minutes, guys. As we said to start things off this morning, we are officially 50% halfway through earnings season for this reporting season. Here is what to expect tonight and tomorrow morning.
Here we go. Here's
You get some good ones on here. Like, obviously.
Oh, there's Pfizer. Okay, yeah,
Pfizer's
good. We talked about
I thought it was
that.
later in the week, but
Me
it is
too,
tomorrow.
but okay.
And then Under Armour. So I mean, like, you can talk about some of the names that have been doing really well in the retail, but you always care about when any of these retail names, what they say about supply chain. That's going to matter. Diamondback Energy has been on some crazy runs like the rest of the industry as well. I don't see anything above me. Ralph Lauren, I don't know if that's going to be a big time mover there. So it looks like right in the middle, yeah, Pfizer. And a lot of energy, actually, because Marathon Oil and BP.
Yeah, exactly. The only one that I got tweeted at here was this pick. I don't know if this is you, the Playmaker, but this is not today, Thursday the 28th. I thought you said you were right outside there right now, but anyways, maybe this is the wrong person. But there it is. Thank you for that. Tweet outside of a Lucid showroom in Miami. So yeah, bring it to you live. There, we laugh when SoFi goes all the way down, and we took that 80 bid, right? I mean, that's the thing. So when it comes all, we still are in this name. We're only in half of it now, but that was a nice move to the downside there on SoFi. So you got to take advantage. We're looking for the same kind of thing to happen right here on CGC as we're looking for it to crack into the 20s, man. We are short now at 32 on CGC. Yep, that's the right price. What's up, Valeria?
Hey guys, thank you for starting this new trading month with us. I hope you're all doing great and in profitable territory. Please double check if you like this video. Your support means so much to us. And of course, join me and Prad to continue trading the rest of the day. And happy National Cinnamon Day, everyone.
Ooh, cinnamon gives me 2 thumbs down for cinnamon. Yeah, I'm not a big cinnamon fan.
Oh, really?
I like cinnamon, but I find like sometimes it's just overused. Like I like it on French toast, obviously some baking, you know, some pastries, things like that. But when it's overused, I don't like cinnamon and I've never done the cinnamon challenge, but I don't recommend anybody doing said cinnamon challenge.
2 things. We actually had cinnamon buns on Saturday because my wife made them. I love them. Like, just I have again, you guys know I have a pastry thing, so I have no discipline when it comes to those. Cinnamon buns are right there. It's not that I haven't done the cinnamon challenge, but I did the cocoa challenge a few times at university. I will say it is a really bad idea to do it, although I've managed to complete it twice. I would not try it with cinnamon. Seems pretty dangerous to me. The cocoa challenge, there's definitely a trick to it. If you can do the saltine challenge, then you can probably do the cocoa challenge, although, like I said, don't do it. Brendan, cinnamon?
I think Prad just said, what did you say, Prad? 2,000 likes? Yeah. 2,000 likes, he'll do it on the show.
2,000 likes on his show. He's gonna get that. Prad.
Yeah.
You have any idea? You got to go higher than that.
You got to go higher than that. It's actually pretty hard.
We can get definitely 2,000 likes.
No. Like,
we're talking about, but hey, he's a gamer. We only have 1.3.
He's gonna do it
on our show right now. Let's get some more likes, guys. Hit that like button.
It is, guys, though, the season for cinnamon.
Brad's gonna learn.
Apple pie, pumpkin pie. I mean, they all have cinnamon, right? So
oh my gosh, pumpkin pie.
In that sense, we'll give it a thumbs up.
Okay.
There you go. But you know what time it is. Get the likes up for Trader Prad and Miss V for Memes and Movers, because Prad he just wrote a check.
Never done this.
He just wrote a check that his butt can't cash. I'm telling you that right now.
I want Miss V to do it as well, but let's go over to. I'll throw it right now. Let's go over to Memes and Movers over there. Let's go, Prad and Valeria. Kill it.
Go to Memes and Movers over here. Welcome back to a new month, new start to the trading session, November 1st. It's me. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Happy November, everyone. Guys, thank you for joining us. As usual, please be active on the chat. Ask us anything and make sure you like this video. So Prad will eat cinnamon on air. I want to see that so bad, and I'll join Prad. Why not? How's your trading day?
Get us to break that 1K barrier.
I do anything for likes,
know.
literally. Eating cinnamon is the easiest one. I've ate Vegemite, so, you know.
I like it. She's a trooper. How was your weekend? Do you do anything fun?
Basically, yes. Just visited my friend, had a little fun, nothing crazy. Didn't go for a trick or